That's Molly, homie. Improvise, I like it. Yeah. Improvisation, love it.
Good to see you, bud.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, I'm very tired of Ty Lopez's like aggressive YouTube dance.
I'm gonna be a buck with you, bro. I feel like we haven't seen anything. I like that guy. He a superstar in my eyes. If I had somebody to like run my music career, I want him to do it. And I want him to have I want him to have like 15-minute sets on stage. Amping the crowd up, you know what I'm saying? And a little bit of self-advertisement.
That'd be insane to have Ty Lopez as your opener.
Yeah, and you see his fucking car that he don't really drive in the fucking parking lot.
He's just like trying to get people into a pyramid scheme like before the set starts.
Yeah.
He has to wheel out his cart and like he has a cutout of himself on the
Yo,
side
that'd be wrong. And that'd make 3 people on stage then. Me, him, and his cutout.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep. You can keep talking. I'm just gonna adjust this.
Adjust the mic levels. So, today I made curry, and that shit was fire.
You made curry?
Yeah, I made curry.
What kind?
Just, you know what I'm saying? I call it poor man's curry. Poor man curry when you ain't got really much funds, you know what I'm saying? So you're making curry out of whatever you can. It's a combination of spices, you know what I'm saying? Of course, coconut milk, you know what I'm saying? Got the onions, got the tomatoes, got the potatoes, got the rice. Jasmine, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, jasmine rice is the way to go.
That's the only way to go.
Nick put me on the jasmine rice because before it was kind of just white rice or brown rice. Jasmine rice has like good flavor.
It really does, and it expands your consciousness level 3-fold.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Do you use a rice cooker? What do you use?
I just use a pot and some water and some butter.
So you're throwing on the stove?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever throw ingredients into it while it's cooking?
Yeah, most def. I mean, that's okay. So that's how Indian folk, you know what I'm saying, they make the yellow rice, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much, what is it? Is it basmati rice with a little bit of turmeric in it? You know what I'm saying? A little bit of seasonings. Yeah, I mean, that's for this particular dish, it wouldn't make sense because it's curry, and curry is just, it's got that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So why even season the rice? I mean, yeah, it might be nice if you want to, get a little flavor on, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, shout out to turmeric because turmeric is awesome, bro.
Turmeric is underused spice, I think, in most households.
Yeah, I
started using ginger more.
Ginger, they have similar effects when it comes to your body, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. In terms of, you know what I'm saying, probiotics and whatnot.
Garlic's good for you too, right?
Garlic is hella good for you too. Yeah, garlic, that's the 3 right there, you know what I'm saying? That's why you see mad cultures always be having like all those different flavors or all those same ingredients in different dishes and stuff because I mean it's really good for you and it should smack, you know what I'm saying?
Is that the...
That's the ghost in the hallway.
It's not the sink, right?
I see dead people.
I'm gonna check the sink really quick. Because sometimes it gets stuck turned on.
Gotcha, bitch ass. Thought it was the sink. You got me fucked up. I got proper house manners.
Nah, you didn't fuck up. No, our sink is busted where it turns both ways, so you have to hit this like perfect middle spot. Yeah, I feel like every house has one of those things where you gotta tell people like, hey, when you go
make sure you pour the toilet handle right back up. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna leave the running water.
You gotta finagle it.
Yeah, for real. If not, you paying for the water bill.
Yeah.
So I mean, how's your day been, bro? What's been into?
It's been pretty good. I like Sundays a lot, honestly. It's usually the day where like it's a good split between like relaxing and working on art. And getting like all those like house things done. So I went to the grocery store. I got a fuck ton of these mason jars earlier today because if you go to like Target or something, a mason jar is like $3, maybe even $5. I went to Walmart and you could get a 12-pack of these for $8. Yo. So I chopped up a fuck ton of vegetables and then I just filled a bunch of jars with like chopped vegetable mixes and threw them in the fridge. So now when I can cook, I'm just gonna like throw shit in there.
Yo, that's G. That's G as fuck. But don't you feel like that fucks up the you know what I'm saying, the freshness of the ingredients?
I'm gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna see if like my food quality like goes down or something.
Where I think it's the air affecting it. If I'm wrong,
I wrote the date on it so I can like remember how old it is, and my goal is to like just run through stuff fast enough to where that's not like a problem.
Damn, that's actually G.
I probably could have Googled it to see the better way to do this, but this I don't know. I was like, this seems like a good idea.
Fucking freeze them. Probably freezing them probably would work too. I don't know how that would go in a glass jar though. That makes me kind of feel weird.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you're like, this is either completely okay or like you're not supposed to do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. When I was little, man, I was at my friend's house, and it's like this little fancy ass like white people. You know what I'm saying? I'm spending the night. You know what I'm saying? And him and my mom, or no. His mom and I are having a conversation. We're talking. I'm pulling my cup out the freezer. You know what I'm saying? Pouring some hot water in it. Yeah. That shit break. Oh my god, I ain't never been so scared in my life because you know what I'm saying? I grew up poor, so you know what I'm saying? I'm in some rich person's house and I break one of their glasses. And when I break one of my mom's glasses, oh my gosh, she ready to whoop my ass. I did not know how that lady was feeling. She was like, "Oh, it's okay, just throw it in the trash." I was like,
"Whoa, that's nuts."
Yeah. I was like, "Whoa, okay, shit, fuck it then."
Just throw it away.
Felt so much guilt and remorse though. I after that started fucking with plastic cups. Started bringing my own bottles over to the house. This shit was not the same.
I usually like keep this thing on me. I just got like a new water bottle and I already lost it. I'm so mad about it.
Fuck! I lost my fucking water bottle on the bus right here.
Oh, today?
Nah, when I came back from the East Coast.
Oh right, yeah. You were in Washington D.C.
No, hell no. What the fuck I look like, bro? I didn't know Washington D.C.
Where were you?
Actually, I went through Washington D.C.
Yeah, I saw you tweet about D.C. once.
Washington D.C. is crazy.
I loosely remembered that.
Yeah, Washington D.C. look exactly like Fallout 3, which is like a head ass thing to say.
I went there once when I was 17 for a little bit, and it was like during the springtime, so all the flowers had like the cherry blossoms and
that's
shit.
beautiful, bro.
Yeah, and we like ran through all the memorials and stuff. It's honestly like a really pretty place.
It really is.
It's weird though.
If you know about the symbologies behind all that stuff, that shit is mad. Like, it's weird because our government or like the people who created like all these monuments and stuff, they always, I mean, of course they grab inspiration from places, but like, it's when the inspiration has inspiration,
right? That's
like deep as fuck. It's just when it gets weird. You know what I'm saying? Like the obelisk. You know what I'm saying? You know what the obelisk is? So the obelisk, like Washington Monument, and it's got that like long ass motherfucking thing, and it points up like that. Yeah. So that is like that's from Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Those are obelisks, and they used to like write on them motherfuckers, and he used to like
right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? We have one of those in fucking America, and why do we have one? And why don't we like talk about how that shit is really from Egypt? You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to represent George Washington. So why the fuck is it an Egyptian structure? You know what I'm saying?
All the buildings and memorials have like a lot of like Greek stuff with like pediments.
Yeah, but that makes sense because America is pretty much like, you know what I'm saying? We get a lot of our stuff from the Greek. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
but the one-off Egyptian thing is kind of funky.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But then you look at what obelisk is really for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was telling you about them ley lines, the electromagnetic grid that wrap around the earth. You know what I'm saying? And like, pyramids, when they get electricity in them, they shine it, up to the top. You know what I'm saying? Just that structure. You know what I'm saying? That structure points up. You know what I'm saying? So it collects all the and it goes up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that's essentially what an obelisk does, but it reaches like higher up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like not as hard to make as a fucking pyramid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like however the fuck pyramids was made. But I'm just like, why the fuck is that there? Oh, and the trippy part is, so there's this shit called as above, so below. As above, so below is the principle of duality. You know what I'm saying? So as above, so below. You know what I'm saying? You can have the good without the bad. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So in the Washington Monument or the Washington Memorial Monument, whatever the fuck that shit is called, there's a fucking like a little bed. Monument?
Yeah.
There's a bed of water. You know what I'm talking about? The bed of water.
Yeah, and it leads to the Lincoln.
Really? Yeah. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, you go up the steps to the Lincoln. Yeah.
They're all like lined up, like the fucking, I can't think of the name. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Can we just talk about how all that shit is in the shape of a fucking pentagram?
All of the the White House,
all the
Washington.
Yeah.
Is it like a star?
Yeah, with a circle around it. The road runs in a circle, and it's literally like a circle with a fucking star inside it.
I didn't know that one.
Bro, look that shit on the internet, bro. That shit is weird. I'm telling you, there's
a lot of weird stuff.
That's what I'm saying. When the symbolism has its own it's
all I know about all that stuff is that I don't know anything. Because I feel like if you go on YouTube, you could Google either side of like these theories, and both people are gonna have like a convincing video. So I don't know anything about all that.
I mean, but in a sense, it's like, not about being convinced, or it's not about convincing somebody.
It's just strange.
It is strange, but it's literally showing you the facts. You know what I'm saying? Like not even the facts. Like not even saying that. I'm not saying that nobody's a devil worshiper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you have all your, you know what I'm saying, big monuments, and upside down, or star and a circle around it, and it's just interesting. You know what I'm saying? I would never go to reach and say that somebody's a devil worshiper, because that's like,
go back to the electromagnetic fields you were bringing up earlier.
And that right there, that shit right there is crazy, because You know what I'm saying? The Earth is just, you know what I'm saying? It's got the North Pole and the South Pole. And those are where electromagnetic energy, you know what I'm saying, goes around the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's different places in the Earth that exude electromagnetic energy, you know what I'm saying, and take it in, you know what I'm saying? It's not just going nowhere. It's going, like, into places, you know what I'm saying? And that's, like... I'm not going to talk too much into the science of it because I'm not a fucking, you know, electromagnetician, you know what I'm saying? But
are you getting this from videos or reading or?
Okay, so I mean, most of the time I get most of my shit from watching videos, and then from the video, you know what I'm saying? There'll be certain things that I like to look up, you know what I'm saying, to draw more inspiration from, and like, well, not draw more inspiration, but like gain more knowledge about, you know what I'm saying?
Are they like YouTubers or historians or like what sort of stuff are you tapping into?
I want to say like fucking damn near like journalists and fucking you know what I'm saying, people who just do copious amounts of research, you know what I'm saying, so it's not healthy till your eyeballs is falling out and your brain is damaged, like that kind of research. And motherfuckers think them niggas is crazy, but you can't deny the amount of work that those people put in.
No, that like YouTube is so ahead of the curve. I was thinking about it the other day. It might be like one of the best like free services like ever in history. On the like, fucking planet. The idea that you can upload to that server like infinitely and it holds like it gets like lifetime's amount of video uploaded to it every fucking day.
Yeah, for real.
This like how is that even like, and it's free.
It's free. Talk about it.
To access and upload. Like that's fucking nuts.
And that's why the motherfuckers was mad at first when there was no ads or there was like little ads. They was just like, damn, we got all these people on our fucking website doing all this crazy shit. We not even really getting paid. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of crazy how we've had like completely free, like global distribution channels for like a while now. But we're just now like, well, you know, like YouTube and like social media and things like that. You know, like if you're an up and coming artist or if you have like a local business, like you can now like promote things to the whole world like for free. You don't need to like hope that one day you're on like an interview show or like on cable, you know?
Right.
You can just use the internet. But like I feel like only like just now is like the culture is even swinging to realize like how good that is to have.
Yeah, we like, bro, we in like a world where like everybody's talking about how they want to own their own business. Everybody's trying to do like, you know what I'm saying, things independently, you know what I'm saying? And like it's a break away from like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, before I want to say like before the 80s, you know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, just before the internet where motherfuckers would have to go to somebody. You have to know somebody, and go to the person, and then, you know, then you kind of got to fucking, you know, suck on their balls to try to get you a spot, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't do it on your own, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, motherfuckers like, yo, I don't got a studio, but I know a cat who got a studio. So they over there rubbing up on him to get the studio, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, everybody got a studio, you know what I'm saying? Everybody making music in their house, you know what I'm saying?
Well, when I found out that like Steve Lacy like made his stuff in GarageBand, like now I can kind of tell to an extent with like some of the drums and stuff, but like if somebody didn't tell me, I would have never known.
Nah, you never know. That's smooth,
bro. And he did it like off of GarageBand with like, the iPhone version. Not even on a computer, right?
I mean, he talked about it in an interview or some shit or some kind of video where he's talking about he was saving up for the laptop, never got the laptop, he got a phone.
That's nuts.
Yeah. And it's cool because on GarageBand you plug instruments into your phone, you know what I'm saying, through an adapter, you know what I'm saying, which is fly as fuck. So it gives you more level of versatility, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that even more proves to the fact, like, you know what I'm saying, it's something as simple as YouTube, how it gives you that platform, you know what I'm saying? Or just like, it's all about getting it how you can get it, you know what I'm saying? And some people don't understand that, but we're coming to like a time and place where we're all understanding that. Like, when motherfuckers see that Steve Lacy has done his shit on his phone, then motherfuckers like, wow, I can do it on my phone now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, and never really had changed, to be honest with you, because when I was like 13, 14, I had a little Beatmaker Pro on my phone.
And that's kind of what I was getting at. Like these tools have like been around, and only recently has everybody started to like do this frenzy thing where we all kind of like collectively realize like, oh wait, distribution is free now.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. And then I mean
every platform has live streaming too.
Yeah, that's facts though.
That's like also nutty.
And wait though.
Like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Why is that so nutty though?
I don't know. It's just like another version of it. Like you can just be live on the air
That's true.
instantaneously.
Oh my God, imagine how motherfuckers
different places.
Right, and imagine how motherfuckers who felt like back in the day when they was trying to own a studio or like a radio, you know what I'm saying, a radio company, you know what I'm saying, and they was like, oh man, I just wish a whole bunch of people could just, you know, listen to me talk and listen to of jams and all that shit. Now that shit is just like nothing, you know what I'm saying? That shit probably break somebody's heart. There's probably people who out there put their whole life to that, and now niggas can just I'm going live in 5 minutes, fucking 2 people on there.
There are definitely some folks that are like, man, if I was born 10 years later.
Yeah. But then again, I feel like they don't got to deal with some of the bullshit we got to deal with, because there's just some head assery going on. Like back in the day, there was some authenticity and some like real sauce, and now motherfuckers will do anything for a click.
Yeah,
that is sad, bro.
Yeah, there's definitely a big quantity over quality issue. I think, and also like I think that like when you're an artist too, it is important to like fail a bunch and make a bunch of bad stuff, so like you don't let that stop you from when you finally make something good. That's important. But like some people are just trying to like capitalize on like moments or trends or this or that, and like they're just putting out tons and tons of stuff, and it's not that considerate. So then that makes it to where like their long form stuff also isn't considerate, so then everything is kind of treated as like a throwaway one-off.
It's got to be real careful. Like, don't see the way that I went about dropping music is I've been making music like my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I started off by rolling rock songs to motherfucking like I would write like little alternative songs. I sing songs in the shower, write them down. Then I started rapping. You know what I'm saying? But at no point was I showing people that I had rapped. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it like mostly for myself. Even when it came to putting out music, I did this little like I dropped a little stuff with my friend Darius. You know what I'm saying? We had dropped stuff, but then I like went ghost for like a year, maybe 2 years. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time I knew that the reason I'm doing this is because so like when motherfuckers hear me, I'm gonna have my own distinguished style, my own distinguished sound that they're gonna take seriously because you could tell the effort is put into it. You know what I'm saying? Had I kept dropping these little goofy kind of throwaway. They weren't really throwaway because I like to make meaningful things, but these little throwaway tracks. Motherfuckers would, when I say I'm dropping something new, something fire, something crazy. They're not gonna be less in tune with it. You know what I'm saying? So I totally feel what you're saying right there.
Yeah. When did you start? I know you said you've always been like, how old were you when you started making music?
It depends on what you mean making music, because making music could be just you know what I'm saying.
I guess like when you had like a song, like whether or not it was recorded, like you distinctly like this is a song by me.
Yo, my fucking damn, that bring me back in the day. Yo, there was this girl in my 7th grade class. Now I say this is like the first, like I always make songs that I just remember in my head and I sing them, but it's like it's like a real cool, probably just like a chorus I sing over again, a chorus and a little verse, you know what I'm saying, that I sing over again. But like it was nothing really like serious and like formatted and truly structured, you know what I'm saying. But this one girl in my 7th grade art class named Talia. Oh my god, bro. She was like the weirdest chick ever. Like she was like super to herself, but like just the shit that she was into was insane. So every day I would just like hang out with her first period at art, and the rest of the day I would write. So I would write the song, and then the song. So it was pretty much like it was fucking awesome by Tyler the Creator. Okay. But like it was pretty much like the cadence, not the rhyme scheme, but the cadence and the beat. And I would sing the cadence and the rhythm, and I would sing the song that I wrote, and I wrote this whole song and rap for her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was like,
did you do it in person or did you record it or what?
No, I never recorded
never presented it. Okay.
So I remember one day, man, it was like the end of the year, and I knew I was never gonna see her again. And then I wrote the song, and I was like, her best friend Morgan, I was like, yo, Morgan, let me show you this song real quick, and tell me if you like it, you know what I'm saying? And then like she didn't take it serious at all, and it broke my heart because it was so meaningful to me. And I was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm not showing Talia this shit. If she's not gonna take it serious, no one gonna take it serious. But like honestly, it was one of the softest moments I've ever had, bro. Talia, if you could find me, please hit me up. You know what's crazy, bro? She done wiped herself off the internet, bro.
You can't find her on the face of the earth?
Nah, bro. You know how sexy that is? Bruh. That shit is insane. Was this in
Arizona?
Yeah, this was in Tempe, yeah.
You from here originally?
Because that's a tricky question. No, I wasn't born here. Okay. I was born in Michigan City, Indiana. You know what I'm saying? So that's not too far from Gary. Gary not too far from Chicago. So it's up there in the little corner, LaPorte County of Indiana. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was born, and I lived about like four years of my life out there. When I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Then I spent an additional 2 years of my life out there when I had moved back. But Yeah, no. Then my mom moved out. We stayed between Michigan City and Chicago, and then my mom moved us out of the hood to fucking out here to Maricopa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I started. Then from Maricopa, I moved in with the white people in Ahwatukee. You know what I'm saying? Started living the Ahwatukee lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
I've always been Maricopa. I haven't spent much time in Ahwatukee like at all.
It's like, I don't know, man. If you an adult, there ain't no reason to go there. You know what I'm saying? If you a kid, though, this shit fly because, yo, it's not like the hood, bro. You don't got to worry about motherfuckers, like, acting crazy. You don't got to worry about, thinking about you going to get stabbed. You don't even got to see no bums. Like, when I grew up in Ahwatukee, there was no bums. There was one or two bums, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never felt no way about them, like, but I was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are bums, you know what I'm saying? And then as I got older and I started to expand, you know what I'm saying? I started to set my sales. Bruh, there's bums everywhere.
Yeah.
There's bums everywhere.
Like, it's pretty much anytime you're getting off the freeway or leaving like a grocery store, there's gonna be like 2 or 3 like homeless people. I find it like I help them out a lot more lately than I used to. Like before I would try to like when I can, but now like if I'm getting off the freeway or whatever and like it's giving me the green light, like sometimes I just stop my car anyways and just because I'm just like, I'm gonna let this like be the determinant of if this person gets like
facts, bro. I fucks with that.
Like that's the person behind me. They can wait.
They fucking wait, man. You're not you in a fucking car with your air conditioning on, listening to Aerosmith. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man. I got like a week's worth of new socks, and then I took like all my old ones and like I like grocery bagged them up. So now I give like homeless people socks.
You giving motherfuckers ideas, bro. That sounds beautiful, bro. I would honestly do some shit. The only thing is like my socks get torn through like a motherfucker. I got them ogre feet.
Well, that's the thing. Like I feel like everybody has like a big culmination of socks, and like some of them like are disappeared and some are shitty, and like what it's just like I was like, man, I kind of just want like 7 pairs and just keep it simple and like just have like new ones for the first time in a while.
Keep track of your stuff too.
My friend gave me the idea, and I was just like, oh yeah, they probably have like the 1 or 2 pairs, and it's like if they get money, that's not what they're spending it on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And my mom had told me. Because, you know what I'm saying, my mom spent a little time being homeless, and, you know what I'm saying, my mom, we just because we lived in Ahwatukee, we lived with the white folks. We had money. We was broke than a motherfucker. We was broke as hell. But, my mom was fronting very well, acting like, you know what I'm saying, we were, you know what I'm saying. My mom told me, like, I just wanted you to be raised like a white child. And then now that I look back at it, I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, my mom never raised me as a white child, but she raised me around white children and tried to, like, keep up with those kind of expectations. Because, you know what I'm saying, we kind of live in a world where, you know what I'm saying, shit is black and white, you know what I'm saying, and black isn't even really a race thing. It's more of a class thing, you know what I'm saying? Back to what I was talking about. Don't remember what the fuck I was talking about. We was talking about socks, homeless people, and
it was in the
my mom had told me that, you know what I'm saying, when she was homeless, like, you know what I'm saying, you should just give to the homeless because, you know what I'm saying, if they every person who's been broke knows that when you don't got what you need, you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? At what lengths? You don't know, because poverty is a crazy thing, you know what I'm saying? If you look at a lot of impoverished countries, you see some of the things that happens in their streets, you know what I'm saying? It's because motherfuckers is not eating, you know what I'm saying? They're not living, you know what I'm saying? So you got to do what you can to live. That's what life is. So when you do something like that, I mean, that in essence, you're pretty much you're stopping, bad things from happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, a motherfucker could break into a window and take somebody's stereo. You know what I'm saying?
My friend who, like, lives in a nicer Scottsdale neighborhood was telling me that there's, like, signs put up around that say, like, 70% of Americans don't give homeless people stuff or, like, donations or whatever you want to call it. And then these signs are there to, like, make people feel better about not giving, like it's not what you
what
I thought she was telling me a story of
I get it, that's fucked up.
So these signs say like 70% of Americans like don't give homeless people stuff, and then like underneath it's like, here is information on institutions that you can donate to, and they'll like sort it out basically. So it's basically saying like don't interact, like don't, because you might get scammed. So, like, let these other people handle it. And
I mean, I can understand that.
I can understand it, and, like...
Don't agree.
And there's also been people I've helped out where I can tell, like, either they scammed me or, like, whatever it is.
Right.
But, like, the majority of the time, I feel like you're just kind of helping someone.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it low-key is, you know what I'm saying, mildly lucrative to sit on the, the corner. I mean, at a certain expense, being in Phoenix, motherfucker, it's hot, bro. You get cooked. But I mean, it does come with a reward. I mean, straight cash. You don't got to wait for no paycheck or nothing. But that's just not the way way to go. That's like,
I mean, your health. I mean, if you were doing that optionally, like your health is gonna decline. You're like not doing anything all day. Like I feel like your mind is gonna kind of start to, it's like because it's like you're like upping your currency of like money, I guess. But then like your other things that keep you going are kind of like at a hit.
Wow.
Which is kind of like everything's a trade off, So then it's like, should I?
But not many people think of things as a trade off. I'm glad you said that, bro, because a lot of people don't really think of it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like we're peddled to like think of so many simplistic things as like the things you're supposed to be chasing, and we're also like not encouraged to like question or remember like
shit, this nigga Zane going conspiracy theorist mode.
Well,
talk about the government.
It's not. No, I'm not even going that far. I'm just talking more just like sociology.
For sure. Yeah.
I just feel like we're not like encouraged to like question or remember even like why we're doing the things we're doing, you know? So like I'll hear people like brag about like overtime or getting like 3 hours of sleep so that they could like work these extra shifts. And like granted, like if you need that to survive, like I completely get it. I'm not saying like everybody who does that is making a mistake, you know? But like
it's a trade-off.
Yeah, like some people, like let's just say like they'd be okay the other way around, and then they would like in turn by like not working like that 60th hour or whatever, like they would be able to get like more sleep and like catch up on stuff, and then in turn they would like be happier, you know. But like a lot of times like people are just like chasing money because like they assume like this equals like
chasing the dragon,
happier, you know. So it's kind of like a balanced thing.
Yeah, like, that's that Fahrenheit 454 shit or 451 shit.
Well, because your Google Maps is still going.
Oh shit! Have I reached the location?
Yeah, you're here.
Swag, okay.
No, I just, I would assume that, like, most of the things we're doing is, like, for the end result of being happy, you know? But I feel like that gets, like...
But what is happiness? You know what I'm saying? Talk to Marley, you know what I'm saying? What is being rich? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like you said, everything is a trade-off, you know what I'm saying? So I think more people need to think of things like that, you know? It's really a trade-off, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, it also like depends on how you're using it. It's like if you're down on your luck and you have no money, that's one thing. Yeah. If you're like using it to fund like getting the laptop, like we were saying earlier, like that's another. If it's just to like buy a bunch of shit, like I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like no, yeah. Forgot what the fuck I was gonna say, man.
Me too.
I got caught up looking at the dog. He just staring at me, bro. Oh, now you don't want to look. Wow.
That dog will he has like human eyes. Like he kind of will pretend that he wasn't making eye contact with you. He'll be like kind of like this.
Can we talk about how that dog is a fucking human in disguise?
Yeah. You remember Peter Pettigrew in like Harry Potter? He was like hiding as a fucking rat for a decade.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I've never seen Harry Potter.
Oh. You read a lot though, huh?
Yeah, I do read, but I don't read no Harry Potter, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about Harry Potter that like stopped me from like reading and watching it. Maybe it was the hype because just so many people would come to school and be like, "Oh my god, Harry Potter!" And I'd be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up."
It was the Breaking Bad of books.
Oh, okay, all right.
Everybody was hyping it up, and you're like,
yeah.
Actually, no, that's like more like Game of Thrones now. Like everybody, like because I've never done. Did you do Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones kind of hard,
bro. Oh, you
did
that one, though.
I didn't really do it because, like, it's nothing that really was, like, calling to me, like, ethically or, like, anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Did you watch it, though?
Yeah, I mean, I watched some of it. Like, it was fire,
okay,
bro. Like, keeping up with the different parties and see what they doing. Like, oh, don't do it. Oh, don't do it. Oh, she did it. You know what I'm saying? It's fun to do that. But, like, if it ain't something that really called you, like, I ain't never really fuck with a whole bunch, you know what I'm saying, little white mages and shit, you know what I'm saying, doing spells and labs and shit. I mean, it's a cool idea, bro. Like, I'm not knocking it at all, but you know what I'm saying. The shit that I like, I don't know. When I was a kid, I like reading military shit, like on the little militant shit. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't militant, but
you retweet like gun stuff every now and again too, huh?
Yeah.
What got you into all that?
Bro,
how old are you?
Bro, firearms, bro. I was always into weaponry, you know what I'm saying? I was always into blades, spears, maces, motherfucking pepper spray, motherfucking firearms, slingshots, bows, you know what I'm saying? Ammunitions, you know what I'm saying? 5.56s, you know what I'm saying? The NATO rounds, you know what I'm saying? Explosive TNT arrows, you know what I'm saying? Okay.
But you say explosive arrows?
Explosive arrows. Them shits is real, bro. And then, bro, when I was little, bro, I found this knife, right? It's called the Wasp Knife, bro. You stab a nigga with it, and you push it. Yo. You stab a nigga with it, and you push the button, and it injects fucking poison into their bloodstream. So not only did you add insult to injury, but now the motherfucker's going to start seizing after you stab them. Imagine how that feels, bro. Like, I got stabbed. My body. You get stabbed in the gut and now your fucking toes hurt.
Yeah, it's one thing to already be stabbed and then to have the poison come in later.
I asked my mom for one of those and she was not having it. She was like, what in the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, oh, that's cool.
Wait. So you were getting this from a book? Where were you getting this
from?
my
fucking, bro, Spike TV had some of the craziest fucking, TV's craziest TV shows. You ever seen 1,000 Ways to Die?
Yeah.
Bro, come on. That made me just want to kill myself, bro, and just hit the list, bro. I'm like, what I'm finna do is I'm finna jump off this bouncy ball off the Empire State Building and hit a cab.
You were trying to make the cut for 1,000 Ways to Die?
Shit, I'm gonna die a legend, bro. One way or another, bro. I'm going.
Don't die.
No, hell no. I ain't going out. I ain't going out like that.
Give it a good run.
But I think
don't have your obituary on Spike TV. That's not the way to go out, bro.
Yo, fucking water break. The delicious water.
Water's always good.
Mason jar water. Free Mason water.
I think Harry Potter tricked me into thinking I'm a good reader because as an adult, I feel like I'm not a good reader.
What do you mean by being a good reader?
Well, like as a kid, I read all 7 of those books. I remember going through. Yeah, but their reading level isn't even like that high. You know, they're like they're extremely accessible books. And I remember like killing another series and like a handful of other novels I read. But like I remember in high school, I was really bad about reading pretty much all the assigned reading things. Yeah. Like Great Expectations and Shakespeare and like all that shit. Like I
fuck with Shakespeare.
Yeah, I find it really difficult. And then as an adult, I'd like really mostly been reading like autobiographies like every now and again. And like I slowed down. So lately I've been trying to like kick it back up because my older brother, like he's already read like I think like 8 books since like January. And I'm like, fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah. The book I got on me right now, it's about some old spiritual shit, talking about channeling your spirit guides per se, you know what I'm saying? But the fundamental, like, cut the spirit guide shit out of the way and we can just talk about channeling, you know what I'm saying? It's really just talking about like having a level of outer body empathy. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it is, you know what I'm saying?
For yourself?
For anything, you know what I'm saying? Like when you let's say when you see somebody fucking get smacked by a train, just, you know what I'm saying? You just feel for them. That instant moment right there is you know what I'm saying, in the book considered channeling. You know what I'm saying? So, but like you take that moment and you apply it to different places. You know what I'm saying? Then you extend it. You know what I'm saying? Because after the motherfucker gets hit by the train, or after, let's not even say train because that's too crazy. Let's say motherfucker falls off a bike. You know what I'm saying? You feel for him. You're like, damn, like oh fuck. That's when your brain starts to kick in. First is your empathy. You know what I'm saying? First is like something beyond that, and then your brain starts kicking. Like damn, like that's when you start using your reasoning and your like oh man, I mean, it's simple as like, oh man, I bet his fucking arm is fucked up, or like maybe if he had not gone that way, that wouldn't have happened to him, or something like that. Then by doing that, you've lost the empathy, you lost that channeling that you had created. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a real interesting concept because it like,
if I could, so you're saying. Why do you lose the energy when you're focusing on his arm and stuff? Are you saying like
your brain, you're not feeling? Because there's a difference between feeling and thinking. You know what I'm saying?
You mean like he's analyzing the situation instead of just exerting like natural like whatever?
It's less of exerting and more of taking in. You know what I'm saying? It's more of just taking in, you know what I'm saying? And it's really putting yourself outside of your body, because that's essentially what channeling is. When you're talking about spirit guides and shit, you're trying to leave your body to get to something more. You know what I'm saying? That act of the kid falling off the bike and feeling what he felt is the essence of, not the essence, but is pretty much, you know what I'm saying, a moment of that. You know what I'm saying? You leave yourself from your shoes to be in their shoes.
That's okay. That's what I was about to ask. So like if you were just like, even if you weren't witnessing something, if you were just sitting around and just like kind of considering someone else's life, like that's like channeling. Like putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, or is it more like in the moment thing?
See, and that's a hard thing to describe right there, because the way that I feel about it, because a lot of people will be like, oh man, I understand where you're coming from. And then I could just look at them and just know you don't understand what I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? You're not really putting yourself in my shoes. Like you could tell when somebody's brain is thinking and their heart is feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're kind of like considering what you're saying about whatever the present situation is, but they're not kind of fully immersing themselves in who you are and the context
fully immersed in
and like where it comes from and the way the things hit each other and like how
right. And then if we go back to channeling, so basically, you know, you get yourself into that into that place where you could just kind of leave your body. You know what I'm saying? I just started the book. I'm on like page 20 right now, so it hasn't really explained. Okay. It's more explained to me what channeling is. You know what I'm saying? In the levels of it.
What's the book called?
Motherfucking it's called How to Channel Your Spirit Guides. It's a short little book.
This dog.
Aye, man. He look at the camera. He's like, "Yo, y'all some fucking weirdos."
Doesn't he have human eyes?
I'm telling you, he's a fucking human in disguise.
I've been saying this,
dude. Literally.
That's what I was getting at earlier with Harry Potter. There's like this guy who's like disguise, like he's an animal for like a lot of his life, and I think that's what's going on over there.
Why was he a fucking animal?
He was running from the law.
That nigga's a bitch, yo. if you could turn yourself into an animal, why would you do something more badass? Like deadass, I'll turn myself to a dragon, bro. Like, please fuck with me.
We'll get back to empathy in a second, but I want you to like live tweet reading all the Harry Potters. I want to hear. Yo, I want to like hear all your like in the moment takes. Like a decade and a half later.
For me though, when it comes to books, like it's got to be like I kind of understand how you are, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say I understand. Me specifically? Yeah, because you're more of a you want the information displayed upon you. You know what I'm saying? Like you,
just in general, or
just in general. Like I mean, just in general. You know what I'm saying? You know, you kind of like things like directly transmitted to you. I don't think you. I'm stretching it right here, but I feel like you don't really like having to, you know, do the extra interpretation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You kind of like things to be as they are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a little bit of both. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
I think like I've always been like really analytical, and I've always kind of just been like a wallflower type to kind of look outward and like try to understand how things work and question things a whole bunch, you know?
Yeah.
But like with art, I've always like found it really fun to like try to figure out like symbolism and like look for Easter eggs and find like new things to be excited about. Like I really like deep diving and learning and stuff.
Okay,
so it's not necessarily I get frustrated if things aren't like simple, you know. But like I think that's kind of led to me being this like kind of efficiency like
guru.
No, not even. Like, it's more.
Yo,
so
this
like,
cat is the efficiency guru,
not
bro.
Even,
Bro, I walked into your house. You was trying to tell me how to live my life, bro. You was like, you're not getting the correct amount of sleep. If you're not getting 7 hours of sleep, the neurological context in your brain will not release the melatonins and serotonins that you need to operate efficiently. The motherfucker was giving me facts, bro. I was just eating, bro. I was like. Yeah, great, yeah.
No, I'm trying to do that less.
Okay. I mean, it all depends on the person you're with. Me, you can do that with, because I like to digest.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you were teaching me about like astrology stuff for a while too. And granted, I was asking you. It's not like you did that like without me asking first. But like, I don't know. I just really like learning things like that, you know. So then it's like if it comes up in conversation, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, I don't know. Most people don't know this. And I don't know what else to talk about.
And now you went up. You level up. You feel me? I feel that. I mean, I like what you told me because it helps me, you know. This like... I mean, you was telling me all about the brain and shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's mad important because after that, like, I started, you know, studying the brain and things that, you know, I should really be taking care of, you know what I'm saying? You know, getting, you know, proper, you know, magnesiums and fucking omega-3s and shit, you know what I'm saying, to make sure my brain is running properly.
Those were kind of my 2019 resolutions, was just to Google, like, body and mind stuff, like, a lot. Because I realized, like, whether or not, like, I've had a headache for 3 days or my eyes are sore or, like, I'm not sleeping good or... What, you know, just whatever it is, I just kind of realized, like, oh, I'm really taking for granted the fact that I can Google anything. So, like, I spent a lot of 2019 just like listening to podcasts with like neuroscientists and like marijuana panels and just like going on the Mayo Clinic and just seeing what they have to say about like screen usage.
I fuck with the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah, like the Mayo Clinic says that you're supposed to use screens for 20 minutes, and then every 20 minutes you're supposed to stare at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And then
20.
Yeah, that's the like the rule or whatever.
Word.
Yeah, so like I just kind of got into like Googling like those sorts of things and just seeing like
that interesting.
Yeah.
To be honest, that sounds like a ritual if you ask me. That nigga said, look at the screen for 20 minutes. Look away at something 20 feet away for 22 seconds.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm definitely not perfect at any of those things, but I like to know them because then if I'm feeling shitty, it's really easy to just kind of like think about what my actions have been for the day.
Troubleshoot.
Yeah, and just exactly. It makes it easier to troubleshoot, and I think it makes it easier too to like not mistake it for like, because
coronavirus.
Yeah, I got a headache. I'm coming down with the coronavirus.
Coronavirus or like depression or whatever.
For real.
Because if you're feeling
Talk to
terrible,
him.
if you're feeling terrible and you can just kind of scan yourself and be like, I've had this amount of water, this amount of sleep, this amount of hours of screen time, whatever. You can kind of figure out, oh, this is exactly why I feel this terrible.
And like you was talking about earlier, how we all geared to, chase the bread. I feel like, it runs into other aspects. I feel like when a lot of people aren't really taking advantage of the internet. You know what I'm saying? So like
that was the feeling, really.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And you know what I'm saying? That brain fart.
No, you're good.
I've lost it all.
You're saying how people are chasing the bread, but we're not taking advantage of the internet. We're talking about health and...
We will be back after this commercial program. Yo, I didn't lose what I said, bro. It's not easy.
No, I get what you're saying. Were you like more or less saying that like that's just like another pursuit that someone could have and like it may or
I was essentially talking about how motherfuckers will really just go and instantly say that they have depression or like you said, not even questioning shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the doctor, tells you have ADHD. You know what I'm saying? Like what essentially is ADHD? You know what I'm saying? And is it truly a disorder? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's like somewhere in the middle. I think it's a combination of both because I've seen the people who have kind of like made mental illness stuff like almost like a brand or like a personality.
Yeah,
but then
like a personality trait.
Yeah, but then I've also seen the flip side where there's a lot of people on Twitter like saying what I just said, but then they kind of become this like they hate anyone that like is part of like the mental illness. Like I hate even saying community, but like they because I don't want it to be like a community. I want it to be people who are like sick, hopefully like get better,
right,
what I mean? I guess community is like positive because people are helping each other or whatever.
Right.
But like I think sometimes people flip it and like some people go as far to say like anxiety and depression and these things aren't real, which is crazy. Which is also crazy.
But also how you label it is also very important because if you call on some things diseases or disorders, you're fucking with the mental state of somebody. You can have a little kid and you tell them they have a disorder. Now the rest of their life they live like they have a disorder.
Yeah.
When in reality, you know what I'm saying, it isn't that deep.
And maybe it is a disorder.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is.
I think at that point it's just like the approach of how they go about like dealing with it and like learning about things, Because it's like if you are really depressed or anxious, whether or not you're actually diagnosed.
And I'm not talking about those two things. Those are
I know.
I'm mostly talking about ADHD. Because that's what I have. That's what I fully understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But continue what you're saying.
I was like with depression and anxiety, at least, like those are things where it's like whether or not you're diagnosed with it or it's just like you're going through a period of time. Like, but both of those people, like either way, they have to like get up every day and like find a way to deal with it. So then at that point, it's kind of just about like outlook and actions because those are literally the only two things you have control over. The other side you don't have control over. So then that's where the flip side people who are super. They make it like a personality trait thing. And I think it's really easy to like wallow in things and like not like go with things.
And exactly, that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful how you label it, bro. Because it makes people. Sometimes it can make somebody feel completely hopeless. Like there's no hope, so why even try? You know what I'm saying? Why even get out of bed today? You know what I'm saying? There's no hope. You know what I'm saying? I'm depressed. You know what I'm saying? When it shouldn't be. It shouldn't really be about that. It should be like you said. Taking the proper actions and whatnot. Like for instance, like ADHD, like you have hyperactive attention disorder. You know what I'm saying? So you're hyper and you don't pay attention very well. And I mean, you gotta level things out. You know what I'm saying? So if you're hyperactive, you gotta teach these people how to calm down. And if they have an attention disorder, you have to teach them how and find a way for them to pay attention to something. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be we don't have to have a defeatist attitude where you can never pay attention. Because like you see me, bro, I'm hyperactive and I be having attention problems. You know what I'm saying? But there's always but I know that when something has to be done, I can bring myself down and give it full attention. You know what I'm saying?
And you're also like incredibly smart and you like research stuff a ton. So it's like it's very obvious that like even if you are like distractible or like hyperactive or whatever you want to call it, like you're still able to like sit down and like be effective in those
right
ways.
and that's a misconception that people get about me, because I feel like the labeling shit kind of builds into that. Like people see me and just think, oh, he could never be serious, he could never be calm,
right.
he can never pay attention to one thing, you know what I'm saying, which is, you know what I'm saying, it's a little hurtful, you know what I'm saying, because I'm capable of it, but it's like, you know what I'm saying, I can't be mad at somebody because, you know what I'm saying, it's the reality that they live in. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have mad acceptance for people who kind of like shell up with these labels, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, the issues that they may have, you know what I'm saying?
Well, kind of what you were saying earlier about like empathy and channeling and stuff, you know, it's like I want to have empathy for people like you and like understand those things about yourself, but then also the people who like maybe are making assumptions about you. It's like that's where it's like, okay, well, this person has this assumption and opinion for a reason because people get to how they are somehow. So clearly this person's been misinformed or not exposed to like the right amount. And then that's where it's like, it's kind of just important to have like patience with like everybody.
I mean, yeah. Oh my God, patience for real. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to not have patience, man. I used to like people who, you know, people who, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a very positive cat, and I really can't be around negativity. I can't be around nagging and things of that nature.
Yeah, you know what? I've never seen you be negative.
I mean, you just can't. I'm a Sagittarius. First off, Sagittarius we just don't do that. But but for real.
We
like
can get to that in a sec.
Word, but like you know what I'm saying, you gotta learn how to, you know, understand where people's coming from when they're not positive, you know what I'm saying, and how they looking at things. Because just because somebody is saying something that's not positive doesn't mean that they're fucking like you know what I'm saying, like dark or evil or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? The way that they see it is that they see it in a more realistic light. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a risky cat. I'll do some dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying? And like
I remember when you and I were at Michael's or whatever the fuck the fabric store was. Like as you were checking out, you asked the cashier to like rate your squats, and you started doing squats.
Yeah. yeah.
That's like so the opposite of my energy.
No, yeah, for real. But see, I understand that. You know what I'm saying?
But it's also hilarious. So it's just like
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted your flow. No. You're saying you're risky and.
No, I dig what you're saying. Yeah, no, but no, like you were saying, like, well, I mean, altogether, you know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody just balances everybody out, and having that acceptance for other people helps you see things, you know what I'm saying, in a different way that help you analyze yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not all righteous. You know what I'm saying? We're not we're not doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? And just because it's your way doesn't mean it's right. You know what I'm saying? So seeing things from other people's perspectives and having patience with them and trying to understand where they're coming from is what we all need.
Yeah, that's like extremely important, and like honestly getting people to overall be that way right now, like the odds are kind of stacked against us because like the internet is like pushing people apart, and then there's things like Cambridge Analytica, which is like they're like making like fake accounts to like rile people up and push them further into their corners, and then Russian interference is doing the exact same thing, and then like all the so it's like and
that's why it's important to form your own opinions. You know what I'm saying? Going back to what we was talking about when in terms of, you know what I'm saying, people, you know what I'm saying, not really thinking for themselves and not doing the proper research. That's why it's important.
Well, there's just so many times like you see like hive mind type think with topics because of just the way like Twitter operates and things like that, which is also like, again, like understandable. I get how people get to be this way, you know, but like you just see like a lot of like knee-jerk reaction takes from people sometimes. Like you can see people arguing who like maybe in a different context would like be totally agreeing with each other, you know. Just it's a lot of unnecessary arguing.
And then like on an empathetic level, you know what I'm saying, you know, there's a lack of that, you know what I'm saying, there's a lack of empathy and putting yourself in other people's shoes, you know what I'm saying. I feel like there's really an issue, you know what I'm saying. I mean, and sometimes, you know, especially in my life, I feel like that's not an issue. Like sometimes I'm really just not empathetic, like because I feel some type of way about something, and I don't feel like it needs to be that way. And if it is that way, I feel like the other person's side needs to be fully acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? But also, you know what I'm saying, on the terms of channeling, when I believe we're all high-minded because we're all of the same planet and we all carry electromagnetic, you know, charge. You know what I'm saying? We do have electricity emitting inside of us, but outside of us as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's capable of, you know what I'm saying, touching other people. You know what I'm saying? If you find somebody that, you know what I'm saying, thinks the same way you do and vibrates the same way you do, it's easy to relate. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have somebody, when you're talking to somebody who doesn't do that, you feel like it's an opposition. You feel like it's your opponent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like saying everything is energy is one of those things where you could turn away a bunch of people because they'll just like default think like, oh, you're being like a hippie or this or that, you know? But like literally everything is about just kind of like the energy that like you're outputting towards yourself and other people and how those things bounce off of each other.
I mean, look at, there's ions in the motherfucking air right now.
Yeah.
There's ions, that's electricity, bro.
Well, it's just like, you wind up being kind of a dick to the person on the phone because you're trying to make a point, and then that person has a shitty day, and then they cut somebody off in traffic, and then that person's like mean to their kid, and then their kid has a shitty day, and they go bully someone. You know, it's just like, but it's like when everybody's just kind of like saying like, hi, how you doing? And like being nice to each other and shit, you know? I think when things go too far in that direction is when everybody's just kind of faking it, and it's kind of that grocery store culture where it's like, how's your day? Good. How's your day? Good. Okay. Have a nice day. And then it's like nothing past that, and then it's just like
that's superficiality, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see superficiality as a complete negative thing. You just got to know where to draw the lines. You know what I'm saying? And like I feel like that's doing a good deed by staying, like, you know what I'm saying, staying happy and staying positive, you know what I'm saying, for other people. Because, you know what I'm saying, like you said, motherfucker could have just, you know what I'm saying, this little kid could have just got bullied by all that shit you just explained. Now a little kid getting bullied, and now he, you know, at the store sad as fuck, and you spread that light onto him, and, you know, he feels a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little bit of that burden off to have, you know, somebody come at him, you know, nicely.
Anytime there's like a baby or like a 3-year-old or something in line at like a grocery store or the airport, and they're like eyeballing me or something, I try to, and like I notice, and like we make eye contact, I try to like give him a smile and then just go back to whatever I was doing, you know, because one, I don't want to be fucking creepy, but two, I remember being a kid and like just wondering about adults and shit, and I'm like, if I can give them any impression that the world is like a friendly place. Yeah.
I mean, personally, you know what I'm saying, when I see a little child, I like to chop it up with him, you know, talk to him, you know what I'm saying? But then again, it's like the culture has completely changed. Like, people are a lot more fear-based. So, you know what I'm saying, the second you start talking to a kid, you know, you automatically like a child trafficker or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Which is a real threat, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not a real threat. I'm just saying, like, it kind of just sucks sometimes, because a lot of times, you know, being positive, being nice, and, you know, doing things of that nature can backfire. And that's one of the worst feelings sometimes, you know?
That's kind of what I was talking about like the superficial stuff earlier, just because like not necessarily culture, but like just, I don't know, the way like our country is, at least like over time, we're just getting like more and more like tight, you know, so it's just kind of like eyes forward, don't talk to each other, like don't, you know, say how you're actually feeling.
Motherfuckers in Arizona for sure.
Yeah, in Arizona for sure. Like everybody in Arizona is like leaving the door, they're going to where they're going, and then they're coming back.
We too close to LA, bro. We too close to LA, man.
Yeah, we really should have a bullet train that can get us there in like 20 minutes.
Then we do that, and everybody gonna be walking around the city not looking at nobody. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but I just want high-speed travel through the country.
Yeah, bro. Now that would be fire. Who was the person who tried to implement that stuff? Where there's like mad like train
that's what I mean. Like if there was like a bullet train that ran like through Arizona, California, Texas, like down to Florida, and then one that like linked like New York, and like that'd be so. Bruh. We would never have to move either. Like we'd be good here.
Dude, that shit would be so fire, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, you know how long the fucking I-10 is? Totally random thing, bro. I just wanted to tell you. I just want to tell you
this.
We
can talk traffic.
No, bro. The I-10.
Just be like a fist away from this guy.
The I-10 stretches from all the way from fucking Florida to fucking San Francisco, bro.
What?
Yeah, bro. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that,
dude. Because when I took the bus back to Phoenix, that's what I
It's all the same thing?
That's what I found out, yeah.
So there's people in Florida saying, like, hey, I'm getting on the I-10, and it's the same I-10 I'm getting on?
Dude, isn't that a trip?
That's kind of trippy.
Bro, I'm walking to the mall with my mom in Pensacola, Florida, and then she's telling me that, and I'm like, damn, like, there really is the I-10. Like, that is the 10. Like, that is so crazy. It's an interstate. I feel like interstates be the long ones.
I've never been to Texas before.
You never been to Texas?
No, I've been to...
What are we talking about Texas for? I said Florida.
You said Florida? Did you say that they connected with each other though? Is that how it?
Did I say Texas?
I don't know. I fucked up.
Oh my god.
No, you did say Florida, but somewhere in there, I think you also said Texas.
I've been to Texas too, dude.
I haven't.
Yeah.
We're dropping that topic completely. You said you were a Sagittarius earlier?
Yeah, so this is the way you break the ice. You know, you Sagittarius. Let me tell you about me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm
a Cancer.
Man, you know what I'm saying? I love me some Cancers. You know what I'm saying? Just because motherfuckers are just... I feel like Cancer is misunderstood sign just because motherfuckers think that they're like super soft and... which they are, but like, which y'all are, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like y'all don't get the praise of y'all intellect, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Cancers are really smart. It's just about, you know what I'm saying, managing your emotions, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like Cancers are some of the brightest people I've ever met, you know what I'm saying? They're very, I don't know how to describe it, because I'm going to say like Cancers are mad analytical, you know what I'm saying? But it's a good level with that and feeling, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes motherfuckers be a little too emotional. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm not here to talk trash. You know what I'm saying?
I think we'd all agree.
Word. Yeah, I'm a good old Sagittarius. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shouts out to the fire signs. Shouts out to the water signs.
I don't know anything about that one.
The Sagittarius. So the Sagittarius is pretty much like the most badass sign there ever was because Bruce Lee was a Sagittarius. So we just walk around
a little closer.
Okay. So we just like the best sign that there is, you know. Just to be honest, like what?
Yeah. What are the things about it?
There are qualities.
Yeah.
You know, being badass. You know what I'm saying? Good jokes.
Wait, you say it's a fire sign?
Yeah, because it's fire.
There's this video I love where it's literally somebody animated it and it's a Charizard and a Blastoise talking, so it's literally fire and water, and the Charizard's like, man, you know. There's so many Pokemon, it's just, there's so much pressure being the best one. And Blastoise is like, what makes you the best? And he's like, well, for one thing, I have fire.
Yeah, right.
And you basically just did that exactly.
Yeah. That's literally what the fire energy is, though. Like, if you look, like, Leo is the epitome of fire energy because they just shine they light so fucking bright. So, like... Sometimes it'd be hard to really feel important next to a Leo because they're just so, you know, in their heads they're just so amazing. And that's kind of what fire essence is, you know what I'm saying? We're just hella fucking awesome. And we always just do cool shit. And that's just how we live our lives, you know what I'm saying?
And is the water ones like inverse of that? Or
No. I would say the inverse of the fire signs would be like earth signs. Because
oh, really?
Yeah, because okay, so you got two sides, right?
I would think they're I don't know anything. I'm just saying like off of assumption. Like I would have thought those are like complementary ones.
Man, when has burning down the earth been complementary?
You know what? You're right. I guess I think like fire, water, and then like air, earth.
No. That's
like land and sky.
Right.
You know.
That's very common. That's how it's always been, you know what I'm saying? Fire, and I mean that's how it is through a lot of, you know what I'm saying, mythology, studies, all that, you know what I'm saying, research. I mean even just like, you know, I guess I'm gonna say like logically, you know what I'm saying? But like, cause I feel like there's something more that we're taught, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Go back into Bruce Lee.
Being the best sign there ever fucking was. Yeah. Hey, me and Bruce Lee is both Sagittarius with Scorpio moons, so that means I'm like Bruce Lee, but like, yeah, that's really just I'm Bruce Lee. So,
and that's where the blue metal dragon comes from.
Yeah. So I mean that shit is crazy actually, because Bruce Lee was born on the year of the dragon, 1940. Yeah. I was born 2000. You do the math. That's another year of the dragon. Now check this out. There's different elements. There's 5 elements in the Chinese mythology.
Yeah.
You have the fire. You have the water, you have the wood, you have the earth, and you have the metal.
Okay.
So that means we were both metals. So that means we had to go through every single one of the elements just to get back to the other one, right? And then each sign hits 12 years. You know what I'm saying?
Can you run that back?
So
there's 5 elements.
Boom.
And you said you gotta go through all of them to get back to the.
But you gotta go through. So how it works is there's 12 animals, and so every 12 years the animal hits again. So you have a horse on this year. Right. 12 years later you're back at the horse. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that's one element.
And those are the. Okay, so it's the 12 signs and the 12 animals, and then going through a cycle of 12, you switch one element.
Yeah,
am I getting that right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
So me and Bruce Lee are both metal dragons. Now the metal or the gold dragon is supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, it's about change. It's about, you know, year 2000, year 1940, people born there are supposed to, you know, bring change to the world. They're supposed to You know what I'm saying? They're a little slightly naive, it's a mix between naive and wise, but it's also about like almost like destroying and recreating, less about destroying and more about just bringing in new ideas to the world, you know what I'm saying, and trying to change the world. That's what a lot of dragons are supposed to do, you know what I'm saying. And I think that's really cool that me and him are both metal, and I forgot what metal stands for. I think it's like a level of
Can you try not to rock this? Sorry.
Oh, my bad, yo.
I just want to make sure that there's like not like a bunch of thumps. I'm still figuring this out.
No, you all good, player. But man, I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking about Bruce Lee and you guys being metal dragons.
Yeah, metal dragons, right? 1940,
Yeah.
2000. They were both Sagittariuses with Scorpio moons. So that means we were born at the same time. The sun was in the same constellation, you know what I'm saying, on our birthdays. And the moon was in the same constellation. The moon moves to a sign in 2 days because it's so damn close to Earth. It just do, all hitting all the signs. So that means we had the same sun and the same moon sign. So the sun sign is how you see the world. The moon sign is how you take it in and feel about it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that makes me just super like Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So going back to the Blue Metal Dragon, I mean, the cover itself is a giant homage to Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm trying to become the rap Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Lee is one of the biggest people that I look up to. He's my screensaver on my laptop. You know what I'm saying? Like, just his way about living, his way of going about living. Because I mean, I feel like I think like what we're talking about, like, you know, I was talking about you know, people who vibrate at the same level understand each other better. That's how I feel about Bruce Lee. Like, you know, before I even learned any of that shit, I was like, yo, like, yeah, he's a legend, and I try to stay away from like motherfuckers who are like everybody loves them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it took me so long to watch Bruce Lee movies. Because before I watched Bruce Lee movies, I was looking at his interviews and what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I liked, because I can understand that, like, living every day of your life as like learning a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Every day of your life, you're trying to learn something new. Every day of your life, you're trying to come to an understanding about something and get to the root of what you're trying to understand. You know what I'm saying?
When did he pass away? How old was he? I honestly like don't know that much about him.
Oh my God, I hate you. Fuck. When did he pass away? Because it wasn't. I don't want.
No,
I'm gonna look it up. I want to say.
Because
I want to say 80.
You said he was born 1940?
Yeah.
So he was like...
Was he not 27? Hold up. I gotta look this up.
No, you're good.
I'm a little mad that I don't know this. Bro passed away.
That's cool.
Oh my God, I should have just said it. I was gonna say 72. This nigga died in 73. Damn, I hate my... Ooh! I'm trying to prove y'all I'm a real Bruce Lee fan. But yeah, he passed away July 30th of 73. Yeah, I don't know how old that would make him. Probably 30, 33. 33. Yeah, 33. Yeah. That's the same age Jesus. We're not connecting the dots.
There we have it.
We're not connecting the dots. Bruce Lee died the same age Jesus died. Therefore, Bruce Lee is the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. Therefore, I'm the reincarnation of Jesus Christ because I'm the reincarnation of Bruce Lee.
Nice to meet you.
No, I'm Jesus Christ.
How's it going? We got it, guys.
No, but
you
real.
got this Egypt shirt on.
Oh yeah, the Egyptian shirt. You know, the hieroglyphics on it, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kemet, man. Shout out to all the people who was fucking with the constellations and star mapping. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Atlanteans. Shout out to, you know, the Babylonians somewhat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Egyptians. Shout out to the Dogon tribe. Dogon tribe is crazy. Did I tell you about the Dogons?
No.
Bruh.
We're a Dogon tribe.
Bro, the Dogon tribe is the tribe in Africa, bro. Who've seen, like, they were
What era?
Now, nigga.
Okay.
Like, but like I mean, they're not far from the Nile, you know what I'm saying? But they were no empire. They weren't an empire. I don't know what empire they fell into, but I mean, it's mostly a tribe more than it was, you know, a real part of the royalty or empire. You know what I'm saying? Africa is a bunch of was I don't want to say is because I don't know much about Africa today, but I know Africa was a bunch of tribes. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of tribes everywhere, and they would come over under a nation, but they're still, you know, individual tribes. You know what I'm saying? With, you know, a lot of times different dialects and things like that, or not dialects, but languages in the whole. You know, but the Dogon tribes were a group of you know what I'm saying, a group of people who, well, are a tribe of people who studied the constellations, studied the stars. You know what I'm saying? And they I'm not entirely sure if they were star mappers. I think it was more oral, and they would like point out where the stars were. But you know, some people came down and they drew the stars down on walls. I know that, not like not like building walls, but more like rock walls. You know what I'm saying? They drew them down. They were talking about them, and I know not archaeologists, but some European cat had went down there and was talking to them, and they were trying to tell them, like, look at the sky. You know what I'm saying? There's a star. There's a really important star that we I don't know if they pray to it. I don't want to say all that, but there's an important star. It's very important to them. It's called Ceres. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the people who went there said, "No, y'all tripping. There's no star where y'all talking about. It's supposed to be one of the brightest stars ever." And they said it's going to be right here, you know, come the next 20 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been watching it, and it's like it's passed down in their lineage, so they know where the star is going to be.
And it showed up. And
it showed up, but then nobody believed them. Nobody had believed them. Everybody thought they were tripping. You know what I'm saying? And so the star became visible, and I know. Oh no! I think how it went is the star was visible, and it was no longer visible because the star was moving away from us. You know what I'm saying? And then
when do stars become visible? Go from visible and invisible? Because I know that like sometimes planets like become in our view.
Well, I'm not entirely sure about that, but it's more about the eyes. It's more about how we see it. It's not really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not like super fast, like moving away from us and coming to us. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's how our eyes work. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
And the Dogon tribe will call the Ceres like the brightest star in the sky, but you couldn't see it. You know what I'm saying? So the guys were like, "Oh, y'all are tripping, big." But then one dude took the time and had a telescope lined up to where they were talking about, and he would work with them, and he seen the star. And when people started doing more research on the star Ceres, it actually turned out to be like an extremely bright star, like an extremely powerful star. You know what I'm saying? It's like a white color. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like a red or, you know what I'm saying, or blue. Like it's a white. Yeah. So it's very bright. And all the people who talked to them were like extremely amazed that they could see that with their eyes, and the Europeans couldn't see that. And
they couldn't?
Yeah, no, they couldn't see it.
Okay.
But after that, you know what I'm saying?
At the same time, or because they came at the wrong time?
I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember how it goes. I assume that. I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that question. You're good. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just a super interesting story. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I don't want to give too much credit to, you know what I'm saying, people in Europe for mapping out stars, because they even named the star Ceres. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's what the tribe had called the star.
Yeah, no, like Africans and like South Americans and shit like have like astrology and shit on lock. That stuff is insane to me. How old like math and science and like the study of the stars and stuff goes. Like it's like just the accomplishment of man is like so fucking humbling. Like, can you imagine having to invent glasses?
I'd be thinking about that, bro, and having to invent speakers.
Oh my, bro!
Yo, that's fucking crazy.
What we're doing right now, like I don't know how this works.
Right?
There's a camera recording us, and there's two microphones, and like we're seeing it happen in real time. Like, what the fuck? Like,
that shit is trippy.
Yeah, thanks everybody who got us here, because I didn't contribute.
And all the unnamed people who didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. All the unnamed people who made these things and didn't get no credit. You know what I'm saying?
because even honestly, like audio recording is like in a way even more magic to me than video and photographing, because like I understand how like the original camera worked. Like they figured out how to like expose light through this hole and then get it to like emulate onto a print, and you know, like I can see how someone worked out capturing an image, even as insane as that sounds, like from the context of before that existed, you know. But like but capturing sounds,
whose crackhead ass was in the fucking like, yo, we're gonna capture this sound, and you're gonna hear it.
I'm gonna capture a sound and then be able to like open it back up and like replay it.
Yeah, yo, that's crazy. I think that all started with the fucking records.
How all that stuff, like recording on tape and vinyl and shit, like I don't know how the recording like went, but I think it's like
it's like when it runs, it makes like a sound, but you can't hear it. So you have that like instrument to help you hear it. You know what I'm saying? And so the different grooves make the sound, like the frequencies.
I'm able to conceptually understand it, but just the idea that some guys like had a hunk of like wax or vinyl or whatever the fuck, and then they did something to it, and now when you put this needle on it, like electric guitars come out. Like that's a
lifetime of work right there.
That's insane.
A lifetime of understanding too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You really have to understand what you're getting into.
I don't remember if this was Neil Young or Jack White, but one of them, maybe even both, one of them had this, like, it looks like a telephone booth, and they brought it on Jimmy Fallon, and it was, like, the last of its kind. In, like, the old days, it was, like, more of a common novelty thing, but basically you put in, like, 75 cents and go inside the booth and like record a song, and then it spits out a vinyl like when you're done.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
75 cents was a lot back then too.
Yeah. And like when you played it back, like obviously the quality like wasn't crazy good, but the idea that you could like create like a real time vinyl in a booth or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so like I think it was Neil Young, honestly. Whoever it was, they did like a little like performance inside.
Do you know what year that could have been?
On when the booth was?
When the booth was popping, yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, as much as I want to say like, oh, the 60s or the 40s, it's like I don't know.
Oh, I'm over here thinking the 1800s.
Well, that's what I was about to even say. I was like, is that 1800s? Like, I don't even know.
Like late 1800s? No, I don't know.
I don't know how old that stuff goes back, honestly.
I know there's recordings from like the 1920s and shit.
Yeah. That stuff feels so... Now that we're in the 20s, doesn't that stuff feel like way less far away now?
Way less far away?
Yeah.
1920s?
Well, it's just... I don't know. It's just... I feel like our whole childhood, like you think of like the past decades as like, oh, the 90s and the 80s and the 60s, and like those ones kind of feel within close reach, but then it's like once you go to like the 20s and the 30s, like our whole lives, that's felt like a whole like you know, just like for fucking forever ago. But now I'm like, oh, I'm a young person in the 20s.
Right.
I'm in the 20s now.
Right.
Later there's going to be some other people talking about the 20s, and that's gonna be me.
I was thinking about this shit last night, bro, for real. But I've never like, cause my grandfather was like super big on like teaching me history of things. You know what I'm saying? Like the actual history that he's learned of things. So like he always gave me like a very broad understanding and perception of history, because like. He was, like I said, he was born in 1940. Oh, I didn't say that, but he was born in 1942. Also a metal dragon, but he was born in 1942. Oh, sorry about that. No, but he was born in 1942 and 1940, and he had to pick cotton. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was growing up, he had to pick cotton, like on some slave shit. You know, he wasn't no slave. He was a free man he was making bread.
Where was he?
Arizona.
Okay.
But he had to pick cotton for money. You know, well, he didn't have to, but that's what he did. And he was talking about how his parents did that too. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty. That's pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's like. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, I don't know, but like that kind of just made me like realize like it's really not that far away. Because at one point he was big cotton. His parents was big cotton. You know what I'm saying? I like to think of things that like lifetimes, like how many lifetimes.
Yeah, no, like that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like when you link arms with like your elders or whatever, you can get to like a few centuries back and not that many people. Yeah, right. And it's kind of trippy. And that's why like when I think about the 20s and the 30s, when they were like inventing shit and people were having a good time and they were like the government was starting to like ban stuff and shit. You know, I'm like, oh, that's like very what's happening right now.
No, the internet and shit.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, just the internet and weed and like still getting in war and like inventing new cars and just like just all the shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hopefully, motherfuckers start really messing with electricity and drop the gas and oil.
Yeah.
That would just be crazy if like somebody like there's a group of people just came out the blue and was just like we got all your electricity, all your electric needs. Holla at us.
You know what's wild? Elon Musk makes I don't know if he does this for everything he does, but I heard in the past his like Tesla cars, a lot of the patents and the design things he just makes like open source, and he encourages his competitors to like use the information, because he was saying like his end goal is to create not only electric cars, but like accelerate the competitive market for electric cars. So he's like, I want Ford and I want all these people to like step it up, like give me a run for my money. So we're switching over.
I can fuck with that. At first I can't. I mean, after saying that, I got to see the facts and receipts if he really did all that. I believe but
yeah.
I take it with a grain of salt. But he said that he messed with Thomas Edison more than he messed with Nikola Tesla. And I don't know, man. I can't back nobody who says that. That's like,
What was his reasoning?
I don't remember what his reasoning was, but it really don't matter because you got a humanitarian and then you have a capitalist, you know what I'm saying, entrepreneur. And I don't know, man. You just can't be siding with the opposition, man. I don't know, man. That's just not okay. Because Nikola Tesla is one of the greatest, brightest human beings to ever exist. You know what I'm saying?
What were all the things he did? Well, not all the things, but you know what I mean.
Well, so a lot of it had to do with the math of the world. You know what I'm saying? A lot of synchronicities and like things that happened or that are coincidences, quote unquote, within math and within reality. You know what I'm saying? And he studied a lot about electricity. You know what I'm saying? Electromagnetic grids and things of that nature. I don't think he had much to do with the ley line, but he was really in a great understanding of how everything is electric, you know what I'm saying? And he said that everything is electric, you know what I'm saying? And he talked about the importance of the numbers 3, 6, and 9. And those are like mad important numbers because a lot of important things are divisible by those numbers, or divisible, or is divisible by 3, or a multiple of 3. And that's important. Like he would walk around buildings 3 times before he entered, you know what I'm saying? Like he really lived in that. He really lived in that realm, and I feel like it's somebody to be as bright as that to, you know what I'm saying? Especially in a field like that, we're not talking about we're talking about like science. You know what I'm saying? Where things are facts, things are is or is not. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, at the time they're still coming to understanding with things, but like to like live your life in a certain way that aligns with what you talk about, and you're in that field, I think is like mad important. But like 369s can be found all over, like the Fibonacci sequence, and
that shit's crazy.
Yeah, that shit is nutty.
Have you ever seen the Donald Duck like goes to like math universe thing? I think I asked you.
Yeah, you told me about this. Yeah, and they're talking about that stuff.
It's like back when like Disney and shit used to make like almost like education and like propaganda, and, like things like somewhere in between that, you know. And they have this like I don't know what it's called, but it's like Donald Duck like goes to math land or some shit. And it's kind of directed the way like Fantasia is, where it has like it's very, I don't know, it just has like that old timey vibe, and he's like walking around in like this big like blue background, and it's all like fantastical and like old Disney feeling, you know, and like this narrator who's like, Donald wants to, you know.
Right.
And the whole thing is, and like they do this long section on the Fibonacci sequence and shit, and they show like how like all the shapes can like fit inside of it like infinitely, and it goes, and then it goes into like nature's design, and like it goes from like flowers to shells to like body sequence, and how like everything like adheres to these rules.
Did it talk about the human body? Yeah, that's crazy.
It like fit the human face in it, and then it like extended to like the form, and then the torso, and then like
I would like to see somebody like who remembers watching that in their childhood. You know what I'm saying?
They showed it to me when I took algebra 3-4 in like 8th grade.
Wow.
So like I remember, I watched that at KMS, and I remember it explained how with pool tables, the reason there's the diamonds on the side is because they're like these really specific angle measurements. So like pool sharks and shit, like I don't know if they all do this, but I would assume, since it's a tool that's available, you can kind of more accurately predict what your ball is going to hit and how they bounce off of each other if you like look at the alignment of the line of the diamonds that are on the side of the pool table that break it down. And it was showing how like you can hit these perfect shots by like adhering to those like
bro, that sounds genius.
And I remember I tried it once and it was like perfect.
Yeah. I ain't never tried doing that, man. I suck at pool also. So
do you like prefer studying like numbers and science, or are you more on like history and stuff?
See, I'm more about I'm not the best with numbers. I understand the importance of them because there's only one thing that's right, and that's math. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 + 2 = 4. Like
I think that's why like a lot of people get into like math and coding and things like that, because anytime something has like a definitive answer to it, you know, or like it like just adds up or it just makes sense, I think like some people like thrive in that.
Yeah, not me. I like to really like. First off, I need something that's mad versatile. You know what I'm saying, and it allows me to interpret it, you know, in my own way, and has layers to uncover in it. I mean, that goes with like anything. Like we even talking about video games. You know what I'm saying? I don't like a game that's like all you see is all you get kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I like a deeper level of immersion. You know what I'm saying? And also sometimes things of books, or things like books, but I don't know. Biographies is kind of different, and autobiographies is kind of different. You know what I'm saying? But like if I'm reading about I don't know. Then that's just a whole nother realm because it's like self-improvement books, and then there's cookbooks. I don't read cookbooks, by the way. I do.
You hop on cooking YouTube.
That well, when I first started, yeah, because I ain't really had nobody to really teach me how to cook. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather taught me how to cook, but like I ain't have nobody really teach me how to cook. So
I go on like Bon Appetit and all that shit. I'm like, all right, what are they doing? Let's go on the munchies.
Word, yeah. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Especially when you're watching somebody else cook. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do that. Because I feel like cooking is art form, you know what I'm saying? You can always draw inspiration from other people, but nobody's like, man, I see what John Basquiat is doing, so I'm gonna do exactly that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think
You just like to like figure shit out.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I love to figure shit out. Yeah,
I feel you. Mm-hmm. When you're writing your like music, or I guess specifically like lyrics, do you go about songs like I feel like I know the answer, but like, do you go about songs like kind of the same way each time, or do things just kind of like, do you have objectives when you go into stuff, or is it just like ideas that are bouncing around?
I definitely have objectives. Yeah. Like for me, like I feel like my presence on this planet, on the planet of Earth, is to teach and open minds and raise the level of quote unquote consciousness. You know what I'm saying? By consciousness, I mean just the seeing and understanding of different things and having your eyes open to different things that are, important, or that I see important, which is like a very interesting, power to have, because like, is what I'm saying really important though? You know what I'm saying? But the people who understand are the people who understand. That's really what it is. But I always try to relay something in my message. Like, a lot of times it's always about something. You know what I'm saying? There's some times where I just hit the pad and I'm just trying to finesse a verse. You know what I'm saying? Just make it sound just pretty and beautiful and not say a fucking thing. But that doesn't fulfill me. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make me feel like I'm really doing something.
Yeah,
you know
that's kind of like getting a rep in, but you're not like really accomplishing something.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, for sure. Like this latest song that I'm writing about the 7 chakras. I'm telling you about the chakras and kind of telling you what they do, but I'm not telling you that, because to me, I think that shit is corny when somebody is like in your ear, like telling you, you know what I'm saying, like a bitch is a hoe, and you wonder why the government told you that a bitch is a hoe.
It's
you
like it's so literal and like on the nose. And
it doesn't give you that level of like being able to dig into it and take what you want from it. You know what I'm saying? I like to be able to take what I want from something. You know what I'm saying? And it gives it more versatility. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody can listen to my music and just feel good. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I got into filmmaking, because like when I was a high schooler and stuff, and like we live all far as hell away from Tempe, so like we didn't have like people over a ton. Like I would always just watch like a fuck ton of TV shows and movies and stuff, and like the ones that like, some stuff is like really fucking cool, like Inception, it would make like a big impact on me for like certain reasons, but then like movies that were super like about like humans and stuff, and like there were like kind of lessons to be like learned, or like things to kind of like find personal meaning within them, and kind of apply it to my life and the way I think about things. I was just, it not only like made it so much more enjoyable, but I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Like I want to be able to make something that's like not only enjoyable to somebody, but also like important to them, like for one reason or another, and I think that you get that way just from like kind of sharing just like the way you think about stuff and having specificity, because people can really relate within specificity more than when you're all broad in general, because that's when you're really not hardly saying anything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I can definitely dig that. And I try to stay away from, because I'm not the, when it comes to writing, I'm not the most specific person, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what that goes on to being a little more literal, you know what I'm saying? But I also try to really stay away from being like everywhere, because I know that's kind of just how I naturally am. I'm naturally like everywhere. And
what do you mean everywhere?
By meaning everywhere, like I have a lot to say, you know what I'm saying? And I think about a lot, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot about a lot, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's just difficult to channel it in the right ways. Instead, I'm trying to tell you everything that I'm trying to tell you all at once, and there's no kind of structure and there's no kind of flow of it. You know what I'm saying? And I really try to stay away from that. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, when I make a song, I try to like, what am I going to tell you in a song? What am I trying to tell you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You need to condense it down to like a handful of like topics and themes or feelings or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So then you can kind of like hit those points.
Yeah, exactly. And that also gives me personal fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? Not like on a duty level, but just personal. Because on a duty level, I feel like I got to tell somebody something. But on a personal level, I feel like everything that I've accumulated in my brain, you know what I'm saying, I could put into a work of art. You know what I'm saying? And that is just super, super like for me. You know what I'm saying? And just even it's just people that I know or like. Artists or like, because I like to shout people out. You know what I'm saying? I take pride in listening to these people and knowing these people and knowing these things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's people who could relate with that. And I think,
I just really like liking things, honestly. Like just in terms of like you said, like shouting people out and just like it's just like, you know, so many people are doing good stuff. I just like having stuff to be a fan of and learn. And
I'm a hater, bro. I'm such a hater, bro. I'm not a super hater. I'm nowhere near a super hater.
I've never seen you hate on stuff. You're like hating on stuff, huh?
I don't like to push my opinions on people, because like I said, I got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just not the vibe to just be hating on people. You know what I'm saying? Let people enjoy things for what they enjoy them for. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody likes a party pooper. But like in my head, like I'd be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking Qwerty and Eli gave me a ride over here. Yeah. Man, these niggas was playing some ass. At first, they know what I'm talking about too. They put on this one song. Oh my god, bro. I told them at the end of the song, like, yo, turn this off, please. It's going on so long. I don't know. It was some singy, like, you know how JPEG Mafia be singing on his tracks?
Yeah, but I love his new album.
Yeah, no, for sure. But so it was kind of like that, trying to sing on the track, but it was like not. It was more like R&B. Like, it was like,
I'll ask them what it is and see if I agree or not.
Watch it be somebody y'all know. They gonna hate me. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song off of your project?
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Let me put this gum over here.
You're good.
I've been trying to figure out a way to dispose this baby. Favorite song off the project? See, that's just like...
Here, I'll get you something. You can just talk about whatever you want.
Okay. So, I don't know. My favorite song off the project would be some like... that's such a hard question to ask somebody. Like...
Alright, never mind.
Did you listen to the project?
Yeah.
What songs were you messing with?
Well, you have Russian Espionage Flow as a single. It's not even on there.
Yeah, Russian Espionage Flow.
Power Up, it just gets in my head a lot.
Yeah.
I really like 5 Years Left. I know we were texting about that the other day. That one's really pretty to me. Earth Day has like a really cool vibe to it.
5 Years Left is talking about the coronavirus.
Which one?
The coronavirus. 5 years left.
Okay,
There's only 5 years left, bro.
I've been meaning to ask you about that one. Like what? Like 5 years till what?
Bro, that's the thing though. Like I really can't tell you. It's not really about the coronavirus, but I really can't tell you. It's like it's 5 years left, and I just need you to know that.
All right.
I'm just playing. It's a big shout out to Busta Rhymes. He would always be like, "It's only 5 years left." Like yeah. It's a big homage to Busta Rhymes. Like, but really though, when Busta Rhymes says it's only 5 years left, I'm like, bro, 5 years until what? Like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
That's what you were just doing to me.
I know. That's the best part.
You were just like, good luck.
And that's what I'm talking about. It allows you to just like dig. You know what I'm saying? Now that is like an extreme because now you're digging too deep. You're like, what the fuck? Like, but like with little to no context. But
yeah.
Just the act of just thinking about what is being said is just like really awesome. And I like to embody that.
Yeah. The Smoke Weed song, I'm like, okay, so like the song says don't smoke weed, but the don't is in parentheses and the hook is saying smoke weed, but then it does it. Like, what are you getting at there?
It's like the song is called "Don't Smoke Weed," and the song be like, "Smoke weed, you might get high. Don't smoke weed, you gonna get high." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all up to your personal preference. Just know that if you smoke weed, you gonna get high.
That's what I like about that song. It kind of works both ways.
Yeah, because me, I don't really smoke, and the homie Shrubhead, he smoke. His name is Shrubhead. You know what I'm saying? So like, So I think it was a cool contrast. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to make a song about smoking weed. I'm trying to have motherfuckers smoking weed listening to the song. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really a weed smoker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be in here talking about I smoke a fat blunt with 20, you know what I'm saying? Like nah. Like I said I take a puff and had enough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, it's cool that you got like both of that going on. Like,
yeah, for the motherfuckers who smoke, for the motherfuckers who don't smoke, but hang with niggas who smoke.
Yeah, it was a good angle.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I say my favorite song off the project. I want to say "Rock with Me" just because that song.
That one has good energy to it.
Yeah, it do, man. Shout out to the homie Desta for mixing and mastering that baby. That song, beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I really think I was talking my shit on that song. You know what I'm saying? Cause I came in this bitch with a blade like Roller Zero. Like, come on, now, that's just hard.
I remember when I saw you the first time. It was at 51 West.
That was my first concert.
That was your first one?
Yeah, that was
the first time you were on a stage.
If I'm thinking about the right show, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I've only performed at 51 West like once.
How many times have you? I just would have assumed you've been doing it a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. It's just like you know, like you doing the right thing when you kind of just do the right thing.
Yeah, well, because I remember like various times through the set, you like paused it to like run your lyrics back and like go into like the quintuple meaning of like this one line. Yeah. And I remember, I remember you said, if any of you has friends that don't read books,
talk to them.
That's fucked up. Don't let them get away with that.
Yo, that's not okay. Like, you're just not a real friend if you're not putting your friends onto books. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you're not reading books yourself, you need to read. Reading is so important. Yeah. Like, and reading is just one of them things where you get to take something from it. You know what I'm saying? You really get to make it however you want to make it. You know?
You had really good energy with the crowd, though. I wouldn't have guessed that was like your first fucking thing.
I honestly, so for me, I really just feed off other people's energy. That's just really what it is. Like, I'm like fully like confident in like my own self, you know what I'm saying? And like being myself. But like, it's just, I don't know what it is about me, but it's like other people's energy affects me heavily. Like, super heavily. Like, I'm really like.
No, I'm the same way, honestly.
Yeah. I can like walk into a room and just know how somebody's feeling just because their energy is that. So when there's like, because that show I brought like 40 people to the show. So there's at least a minimum of like, 40 people in the crowd. And
I remember Brandon was selling shirts for Class Photo too.
That was not my first show then.
Okay, yeah, because this was like semi-recent. It was like a year and a half ago, maybe.
Oh my god, my memory so. But no, a year ago, because this 2019 is the first year I stepped into the rap game. Out here. You know what I'm saying? I dropped a couple things on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I dropped like 2 songs on the internet.
I feel like I've known you longer than that, even, and you were doing music.
I was rapping. I was rapping and recording tracks, but I wasn't dropping them.
Okay, I see.
The only thing I had dropped, and I think it was still, if it wasn't, because I know Russian SB Notchlow video would drop like maybe like it was October? It might have been October of 2018. Yeah. If not October of 2018, then it was January of 2019.
So you were like writing and rapping and doing stuff with Darius, but like you didn't like enter as like your own like releases and things like that.
No, like and it was a really scary feeling, to be honest with you, because all my stuff that had been recently dropped was all off D Bangs on D Bangs' stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like. So it was hard to like really like grasp that I'm really gonna do like my own thing. Not like I was like trying to just like do everything with him, but like I had been working myself up to this moment where I come out, you know what I'm saying, the closet and drop hot tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Was the fear just because like it's like you as your name, so you want to make sure it's as good as it can be, or was it just like what made that different for you?
The overall reason that I wasn't dropping music is to hone in on my style and find who I am and have my own individuality. You know what I'm saying? And
but you said it was like a little bit scary, like starting to do that as like yourself solo.
Right. So when it came to doing that, it was more about like are people really, because when I dropped music with Darius, you know what I'm saying, I almost had like I guess I never really cared about numbers, to be honest.
Right.
But like I always had that cushion just to know that, if somebody's gonna listen to my shit, it's cool. Mm-hmm. But now like I'm dropping music on my own, and even though I know people are gonna listen to it, like I just like, man, like what if like really nobody listens to this? And like I've worked like years to like get myself to this level, and nobody's gonna hear it. Like people are just gonna be like another rapper's rapping. You know what I'm saying? Which wasn't the case because I had presence prior to really dropping music.
Yeah.
So like I think that was just, it was really fear, false evidence appearing real. You know what I'm saying? It was really just fear.
Well, you have so much fucking like energy too. You kind of just draw people into you as well. So,
Yeah,
like,
I have that level of magnetism.
Yeah. No, I like as a video person, like all the stuff like I've uploaded over the years that are just like solo like Zane Berry like cinematography videos and stuff. Like so many of them have anywhere from like 20 to 80 views, you know. And you know it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I got to get better, and two, I definitely got to like work with other people too and find it's like hard like starting off as like you know, just somebody starting to like enter the ring that like thousands of other people are doing. Yeah. But then
nobody's like you though, bro. You eat, bro. You got a fucking beautiful eye and a beautiful brain, bro. You eat, bro.
Thanks.
I wanna see you more, bro. I really do.
Yeah, no, we gotta tap in with each other more often.
For sure.
Yeah, and I wanna make like I wanna make just like a one-off, just don't even think that hard about it video with you. We were texting about this because here's the thing. You have really good, like, thought out concepts for videos and stuff, and I want to make sure that we like find the time to do one of those things, and that like your like heavy creative and like art direction and stuff like goes into it, you know, just so like we have something to like make and put out or whatever. I think it'd be cool to just like choose a song and then just go find some place that has like a good energy to it and just try to like shoot and do something like all in one day.
Yeah, no, for sure. I like the only thing I want for that is just like multiple different places. That's really about it. Like I'm mad with it. You know, I'm mad with it. We talked about it in the text. We can really do that.
Yeah.
In the draws for sure.
No. But no, we'll get together more often.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot what I was saying prior to that though.
You were talking about like
being scared. Being scared to. I think I already like closed out what I was talking about that. You know what I'm saying? But last year 2019 was the year that I like first stepped out in the music scene. So, but I don't remember what show that was that you were talking about.
It was one where 51 West was having like a pop up.
I know the pop up shop. Yes,
yeah,
the 1995.
Yeah, Brandon was the only one selling original stuff.
Yes.
Everybody else was like thrifting stuff.
Yes, I remember that, and he was posted up right in the corner too. That was such a G spot to be posted.
I don't remember what set he was selling for class photo then.
He was selling the Bees one.
Oh yeah. The God complexes.
No,
the beekeeper
throwing the bees in the trash. That was fire, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I missed that day. That was such a good day, bro.
That's when we met.
With QWERTY?
Yeah.
That's when we met?
That's when you and I met, yeah.
No.
You met Sean. I mean, you met our older brother before that, but I'd never met you before that.
That's nutty to think about, bro.
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
Yeah, because I pulled up with Elijah, and then like QWERTY showed up later, and
them two weirdos. Them two is some weirdos. Bro, I'm glad I've been hanging out with y'all more recently because y'all cool as hell.
Thanks.
I used to be scared of y'all. That's so funny. I'm telling you, bro. I'm just a scary. I don't know why I live in fear sometimes.
Your best friend is like my brother, bro.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just feel like y'all just all three of y'all.
Tall.
Nah, that's stupid. But no, y'all all powerful. Y'all all got taste, and y'all got like, you got the put it behind but to put it behind just more. It's more, you know what I'm saying? Like with y'all is deeper than a lot of people that I see do stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all live this life, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'd say the same about you, though. I mean, you're like an incredibly deep thinker, and you work really hard. I mean, that's clear.
Yeah,
I mean, your writing is like so fucking dense and everything, and like, you're.
I'm trying to find more outlets for it, bro, because like I'm at the point where like it's not enough. It's not enough. I need to like I'm really working on this short film that I'm trying to create, and you told me I need to make short films before I do the big project.
Well, that was also before you even like fully explained it to me. The big thing that I would say for young filmmakers is that if you have this idea that you know for a fact is like really important to you, but you've like hardly made anything yet, at that point, then it's just like whether or not your priority is getting this idea made or getting the idea made in its best form. You know, it's like, so then that's where it's like, okay, if this is so important to you, you don't want to make a bad version of it. Then that's where you could practice with like some other shorts and things like that.
And that's what I'm gonna do. For me, it's like so it's gonna be a kung fu short film. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be martial arts, people getting their ass beat. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you know what I'm saying.
Are you gonna give away all the? Although
hell no, you fucked up.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about. I just
I just want to make sure you don't like give away. The
of
whole
course
thing.
not. Oh no, I'm always thinking about that shit
Yeah,
sure. But like the big one is a martial arts short film. So now I'm trying to make mini martial arts short film. You know, get the choreography because that shit low key look kind of hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching choreography videos and some motherfuckers just look whack, bro. Moving hella slow, like. And it's super fake punches, and I just hate that.
Have you ever seen the Corridor Digital stunt guys react videos?
No, did you send those to me?
I don't. I've sent you random stuff.
No, you did send those to me. You did send those to me.
Yeah. So like my favorite YouTube channel of like filmmakers is Corridor Digital, and they make like largely CGI and pop culture and like video games and nerd culture based like short films and things like that.
Said nerd culture.
Yeah, no, I mean they're in the. I mean it's like video game things and comic books and like all that sort of stuff. I mean it's nerdy, but like it's cool, and they have a side channel where they do like vlogs and behind the scenes and just anything that isn't like, you know, like a video project. It's like their personality page, you know?
Yeah.
And they started doing these videos every Saturday where they react to CGI shots and break down why they think they're good and bad, and just because they have an eye for that sort of thing. They've started a spin-off of that where they have on these industry stunt guys that they know. So they know the stunt guy that did Black Panther and something else, and then they know the guy who has been in like Daredevil and shit like that, and then he's been going through like a lot of movies with them, and he'll like point out like how they like land certain falls and like what makes like one fight scene better than the other, and they pulled up like Jackie Chan stuff and like a lot of like
That's not fair. Jackie Chan is literally the GOAT. Like,
well, no, I mean, but that's the point, so that they can like compare and contrast and shit.
That's not a fair place to compare it though. That's like trying to compare $1 tacos from Taco Bell to fucking $10 tacos at the taco shop.
I think for educational purposes though, that's where people can kind of like compare and contrast and see like, oh, this is why this works. Because I think with filmmaking, the thing is like if I as somebody who makes videos and went to school for it, a lot of the time if I comment over why I thought something was good or bad, people will be like, oh, you're just a film person, you're thinking about this too much. And like maybe to a point they're correct, but overall like these things, like I'm only noticing them because like I've like learned to just
you live in that room.
Yeah. But like at the end of the day, like all these like things that people are doing in filmmaking, whether or not it's like the stunt guy or the lighting guy, it's to create a subconscious effect on the viewer. So because ultimately everything comes back to the story and the messaging and the viewer experience and things like that. So filmmaking is like a bunch of like subliminals and shit, you know.
But it all adds up.
So
it's very important.
Yeah, so if you're gonna compare like Jackie Chan to like some like terrible whatever, you know, like while it's like not a fair like matchup, you know, that's where you can kind of like really go in and be like, oh, this is why this one works and the other one doesn't, because it's like you know when you're looking at something good and you know when you're looking at something bad, but you can't like exactly place it, you know.
No, see, and I really do study choreography, you know what I'm saying. The only thing is I've never really gotten the actual chance to put it, you know, or put it into play, but I do study. Like I got our archives of not choreography videos but of fights that I watch how what they do and the little things that they do, like for instance like taking steps, you know what I'm saying. And some fights, you know what I'm saying, you'll see a dude will take one step, the other guy will take a step back, you know what I'm saying, almost simultaneously to keep that like range in, you know what I'm saying, because it's gotta be like the right amount away from somebody to make shit look real, you know what I'm saying, because people aren't really getting punched in the face and things of that nature. Even camera angles and what camera angles work and what camera angles don't work, and even in terms of movement of the camera, because camera movement is mad important, especially when you're trying to build those feelings, you know what I'm saying, and just movement in general, you know what I'm saying, and how to make things look like hella crazy and not hella stupid, you know what I'm saying, like, and it's
that's the battle with everything in film. How do we make this like somewhat convincing and not stupid? And
I'm trying to figure that out myself, because I want to, like, when it comes to making film, I want to have as much, you know what I'm saying, of control of it as I possibly can, because at the end of the day it's my image, you know, I'm writing the story, so I feel like it's essential to be to be multifaceted when it comes to these things, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I would mostly consider myself a director and a cinematographer, you know, but like the reason why I do editing and lighting and like all these different things is because it's just like helpful to have like a bit of knowledge in all the pools so that you can like effectively communicate with everybody there. And if you have to fill in some capacity, and also it's just fun, honestly, you know. But
I mean, especially if it's something that you love, man, you get to, that's when it gets deeper. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of my favorite words, deep. You know what I'm saying? It gets deeper. You know what I'm saying? Once you love watching movies, and now then you start to look at maybe like you love the stories of the movie, so you start to understand what the, you know, story structures are, and you know what I'm saying? It honestly, maybe for some people it doesn't, but for me it gives me like mad fulfillment. Like even when it comes to studying films, you know what I'm saying, the structures and that, you know, this situation is going to create a climax, and you know this part right here is going to be the solution, you know, or the resolution, and you know what I'm saying. Like even when it comes to making music, you know what I'm saying, messing with the hertz, you know what I'm saying. Oh, this is the 500 hertz right here, and that 500 hertz is like banging in my ear, you know.
Something I've been really obsessed with, I think, over the last like year and a half has just been like really like simple and refined filmmaking, you know, because I think like my personal style is like very like slice of life and like human and stuff like that, you know, and very like kind of natural.
I get that from you, yeah, for sure.
And like I haven't directed a short film in 3 years now, because the last one I directed, I made it through April and May of 2017, and then like it was officially done by the end of 2017, and I put it out at some point in 18. So I've been getting ready to like kind of carve out some time to like make another film, since I've been doing like mostly music videos for the last like year and a half and stuff, you know. And I've always
that cute little video you sent me.
Wait, what did I send you?
It was like a collage of little videos and pictures.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I was like, what kind of wholesome shit is this?
This is adorable.
Yeah, it was, bro.
I like making cute stuff.
Yeah.
No, I always find like writing to be the most difficult thing, because kind of what you were saying earlier about like knowing what you want to accomplish with your songs, with your subjects, and like feelings and things like that. A lot of times I'll know like stuff I want to like say, or general concepts I've been kind of like thinking on and stuff, but I don't necessarily have like a story or a situation to apply to it. Some people are opposite. All they do is think of like amazing like original stories and stuff, and then that's where they just have to plug in the meaning where they want to figure out like what it's ultimately saying. For me, like I kind of like know like the sort, like how I want shit to feel, and then I got to figure out like the other stuff, you know. So like whether or not like I thought Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was like an insanely like reductive, like just simple movie for Tarantino, and I loved it. And Roma came out the other year, and that movie just like has such like nice like long pacing and like just really natural acting and shit. There's a show called High Maintenance on HBO, and like that show has like,
I was gonna say High Fidelity.
No, that. You know, that's a movie, but then Hulu just made a show out of it.
That show's fire. Show's fire.
You get a little bit closer. Sorry.
Yeah, of course. Hey, but how do you feel? How do you feel about like one shot scenes, like fat scenes though? I'm talking about like movement and everything. The camera moves and then it stops, and then it turns and then it moves and then it stops.
I think anytime you're doing something like, and of course there's going to be exceptions to everything, but in general, when you're doing something, I think it should be for a purpose, you know? With filmmaking, ultimately it's going to be whether or not something is supporting story, character, plot, or like all three, you know? Or just overall experience of the scene. But even the experience of the scene hopefully is like coming back to those other things, you know? Hopefully what you're watching in some way is furthering you know, the character or the plot of the story. So when it comes to like long like one take things and stuff, you know, like with The Revenant, that movie has a ton of that feeling. It has more cuts than something like Birdman or 1917, you know. But like with all three of those movies, the effect it gives is you're just like, oh my god, it just keeps going. And all three of those movies, like it feels really impressive and kind of claustrophobic in a way, and you're just like, oh, it's just you know. And then in
because in 1917 they had a lot of what I'm talking about. Like there's just one camera moving and then stopping and stuff.
The whole movie was like made to look like one shot.
Yeah, right.
The whole movie was 40 shots total in the edit, and the longest.
That's probably not much though.
No, that's insanely. That's insanely small. I mean, a movie could get into hundreds like easily, you know. And I think the longest shot in that movie was 8 minutes. And in Birdman, the longest shot was 11 minutes. But yeah, it's like that stuff's really cool. But I think that people could like do it unnecessarily as well, because like
I feel what you're saying though. If it don't add to something greater or add to the experience, then what the fuck?
Yeah, because one, it's gonna not only be a bunch of work, but then on top of it is like, does it even make sense for this part? Because for instance, like a lot of like young filmmakers or students or whatever, there'll just be a lot of stuff in there like without intention because they're like excited about something. And granted, like that's also where you can like experiment and try things and get better, of course, you know. But like one thing, for instance, like you'll see a lot of student films with like drone shots for like no fucking reason, you know. It's like it's like a dialogue scene and it just cuts to like the sky.
Yo, bro got mad excited, man. He got mad excited. You can finally use the drone legally.
Yeah, no, exactly. So that's where it's like sometimes it's like, oh, this is really good, and other times it's like, this guy wanted to do a oneer.
Yeah, yeah, for
You're like,
sure,
all right, dude.
Word. And then that one video you sent me, have you ever heard the was it the Yambachi, the Jimbacho, the Jimbachi? Yo, you know what I'm talking about? He the samurai cat. He the samurai cat, and it's like a legendary screenwriter had made that film, and like it has like some of the best examples of just like
Wait, that was the name of a film or a filmmaker?
No, that's the name of the movie, Jimbacho or some shit like that.
Who's the filmmaker?
Bro, yeah, like I don't remember who he is. I just know he a legend.
Kurosawa?
Whoa, why that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah, he a Japanese cat. Probably did movies in like the 70s and yeah.
Probably Kurosawa.
Yeah. But I was watching a video on that cat. Yo, he's fire. Like the things he does with like movements and that. How they were talking about. Right guy. Yeah, yo, that cat's crazy.
I found this video of like it was Oscars from like forever ago, and they brought up Steven Spielberg and George Lucas like together as like presenters, and they're all like young and they had like curly hair and shit, and like they were like the new guys on the block, and I'm like, oh, this is so weird. And they presented like an honorary like lifetime achievement award or something like that to Kurosawa, and like Spielberg like in his like opening speech was saying like, we amongst many people consider him to possibly be the greatest of all time. And like,
look, and it said low-key hating.
No, it was really genuine.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Those guys just like movies, honestly. Yeah.
Word. I feel like one day like I would like to be like, I definitely don't want to say in that seat, because I don't want to be like I don't want to be the most like legendary filmmaker there ever was. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not like how I live my life. You know what I'm saying? But I do like
that's not the end goal.
Yeah, that's not the end goal. But I do want to like do things that they do. You know what I'm saying? I do want to, you know, put in the work that they put in. I do want to, you know what I'm saying, accomplish some things that they accomplish. You know what I'm saying?
Find ways to do new things that like resonate with a bunch of people, because it's just kind of a fresh eye, and yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you for elaborating on that for me. Yeah.
What's crazy is like Scorsese and Lucas and Spielberg and Coppola and like all those fucking guys, like they were just like this like young group of people who like all knew each other and shit, and there's just like all these photos of them, like I think De Palma too, or it's like it's pretty nutty.
Yo, that's mad nutty. I feel like that it low key works like that for a lot of things. Like, you know that Tupac and Jada Pinkett, they used to date. Yeah, like shit like that. That's mad crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had any part of like helping each other get up.
No, yeah, they did.
Almost definitely.
Yeah, when George Lucas made Star Wars, and I think they were the ones he like showed it to first. They were all like, George, what are you doing? Like this, like, and then like he completely re-edited it, and they were like, you may have changed cinema.
Yo, that's crazy.
But yeah, at first, like when George Lucas was like going on to make Star Wars, everybody was like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? What even is this?
What do you feel like? No, you all good. What do you feel like? Like, so what are some of the most important things, like you said earlier, like you were talking about how you like to make something very human, you know what I'm saying? Very, I don't know what else you said, but like what is your kind of style when it comes to cinema?
That's a great question. Thanks.
Because I'm actually interested.
Yeah. I don't know, because I know it resonates with me. The thing is like, so you'll find some filmmakers like Wes Anderson where they have a very distinct style, you know. So it's like all of his shots are going to be symmetrical and they're going to adhere to these Anderson world rules. And then there's things like Tarantino and Scorsese, where it's not like that necessarily, but the DNA of who they are is kind of present in every movie, and it has this like vibe, and that kind of winds up expressing itself in subject matter that's kind of similar throughout,
It's like Kung Fu styles, I already know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think when you're younger, that idea can be kind of like romantic, like figuring out like what your thing is going to be.
Yeah, right.
As I've gotten older, I've kind of gotten more appreciative of the directors whose movies don't remind me of each other at all, but they're still really good, because that shows that they're kind of treating every single project completely differently.
Entity, right.
And they're figuring out, okay, what does this story need and what do these characters need,
So do you feel like you're more of that kind of person?
I just have so many different interests that I think that I might wind up being like that. So like, for instance, like the last movie I made, it's almost all on tripod or on like smooth movement. There's like hardly any handheld in it at all, and it's kind of like Pixar feeling in a way, and that's like the reason why I did it like that. But I really, really like handheld. But for that movie, it was important to do it the way I did, And then the one before that, that one was more like sci-fi, and it was kind of had like, it was like more of a sci-fi thing in terms of the story, because it was about these characters like making this like machine or whatever, but the actual plot was about these like brothers like redeveloping their relationship, So both of the movies were still very like human movies,
Right.
So it's like I'm down to explore with like different genres and different filmmaking tactics and things like that. But I think like the thing that kind of centers me is like I really like movies that have some sort of resonance, and for me that usually comes with people and environment and setting. I like movies that kind of feel like they're transporting you somewhere, and like the environment and the setting of the locations and stuff kind of rein into the overall feeling of the thing, So like I don't know, like just. Yeah, it's kind of hard to answer.
No, for sure. And like you said, like I mean, like you're still, you're still a young filmmaker as well. So you know what I'm saying. It sounds like you try not to romanticize the fact or the style, you try not to romanticize having your own style, but the way that you explain it, like you really do. If you keep going the way you're going, like experimenting and hitting different angles and things like that, you're gonna have a massive amount of styles under your belt. You know what I'm saying? To have at once, instead of pocketing yourself in one single thing. You'll be stuck there forever,
Completely. Yeah. My favorite movie is Her by Spike Jonze.
Bro, I haven't got to see that.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
He won the Oscar for best screenplay.
Okay.
Whenever you watch it, I'm gonna send you this YouTube video to follow up. Annapurna,
I always do that.
Yeah, Annapurna Pictures, who put it out, they have this really, really good like 25-minute behind the scenes like kind of mini doc thing. But it's very artistically edited and put together.
Right.
And it kind of shows you a lot of the guts of the making of that movie in like a really, really cool way. And it's just like one of my favorite. Like
what do they touch on?
See, it's not even like that. A lot of it is like found footage, and it's very home video kind of type feeling. But it's like it's showing him writing it and them on set and him. It's just different. Like
I love seeing directors on set.
Yeah, and Arcade Fire did the music for that.
Oh, okay.
And
I know there's a song up there from Arcade Fire. Yeah,
because it takes place in like the near future, but it doesn't say what year it is.
Right.
So it kind of roughly feels like it could be anywhere from like 15 to 40 years in the future, like somewhere in that realm, And I think it came out in 2013, and even then I feel like it was really ahead of the time of just kind of looking at like where everybody was with like communication and their relationships with themselves and devices and people around them, and kind of where things are heading.
Right.
And it's kind of like,
it's a fun thing to think about.
Yeah, and it's kind of this movie like presented about a guy who thinks he's lonely and he needs someone, but in reality he's depressed and he kind of needs himself and the world, and kind of it's one of those movies where I get something like kind of new out of it every time. And
those are the best ones.
Yeah, and the cinematography and the editing is just extremely like kind of tactical in terms of like creating feeling that not only is good for experience, but it complements the character and like what they're going through, like not even scene to scene, but like shot to shot, like kind of perfectly, It had like some experimental type stuff I hadn't seen before. I just really loved that movie.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
It must be nice to be able to just fully digest like it's like how like shots and cinematography and that. Because I don't think I'm like really able to do that. I'm learning how to do that like little by little by learning different elements.
I mean, I watch videos and then I'm just like, oh shit, I never would have even. But then you just kind of more and more start to get an eye for it. And
yes,
then,
exactly.
And then you'll be watching something and like you'll. Because the other thing too is like when I go to the movies, I'm looking to just enjoy myself. I'm not looking to be like, oh yes, they're using this lens, But it's just one of those things where it's like you just automatically know certain things,
right,
And that's where like later you can kind of like geek out about like how they did shit.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm just trying to like enjoy the movie, you know?
Word.
Because I think sometimes people are like, oh, do you just criticize it the whole time you're sitting there? I'm like, no, man, I like stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, why? I don't know. I couldn't even see myself doing that with music. Like, if somebody's like spit it to me, I don't know. It depends. If somebody's asked and I want to like help them, like, you slipping up on these syllables right here or whatnot. But like, if it's like just music, like I try to just enjoy that. So I feel what you're saying. For sure.
Yeah. No, I was always like super obsessed with Pixar movies as a kid.
This guy.
Yeah, I like. Yeah. I don't really know what my point there was.
What you like about Pixar movies?
They're just elite.
Elite?
When it comes to kids movies, yeah. Like I feel like their team. Well, because first of all, Toy Story was the first fully CGI movie ever made. Like it was the first like computer generated movie in existence.
That's crazy. I'd have never guessed that.
Yeah, so DreamWorks, Sony Animations, Walt Disney Animation Studio, like Illumination, all of them, like they're all in one way or another like biting off of Toy Story. And that's why like all kids movies that are not hand drawn anymore like have the same general look of that inflated pink kind of humanoid, like that's like the vibe,
Yeah.
And like Pixar, like they make stuff with like I feel like such creativity and originality, but then also like extreme attention to just like feeling and characters and story and just making stuff like really like well thought out and immersive, versus like Norma the North or like some like bullshit
right
some bullshit movie, it's just like kind of out there, you know. And like the movie that insanely impressed me recently was like Into the Spider-Verse.
I thought you were gonna say Boss Baby.
No, I haven't seen Boss Baby yet. I hear it's like probably good.
What's the Into the Spider-Verse? Is that the Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, the animated one.
Oh yeah.
Did you see it?
Nah.
It's really good.
I've heard from a lot of people that's fire.
What's crazy about it is the art style is like unlike anything I've ever seen.
For real? I thought it would just be like a basic animated movie.
No, it's honestly, it's insane that this movie even exists. I don't understand how it got through the levels of red tape that it must have had to get through.
What the fuck is red tape?
Like bureaucratic bullshit.
Oh, wow.
Like stop signs.
Yeah, right.
The idea that Into the Spider-Verse exists is like nuts to me.
I'm finna watch it. That's crazy.
Because it's starring Miles Morales, so it's already starring like the Black Spider-Man instead of Peter Parker. And then they curated like an original like rap soundtrack for the movie. So the soundtrack is all like Ski Mask and Jaden and Juice WRLD and Nicki Minaj and like just so they're already doing this for like a mainstream like Marvel superhero movie, which is just a little bit out of the ordinary. And then with the animation style, like it is kind of the traditional 3D, but they overlay hand-drawn 2D over it all the fucking time through the movie. And they do this thing too where like the shadows and the highlights of a lot of shots have like the comic book like polka dot type things like running through, but it's like it just has extremely detail oriented type stuff going on it, and they do kind of flash frames of like alternative animation styles and stuff, and it's just like really mixed. It's just really mixed modal and like original looking. It's just one of those movies where anybody who saw it, they're like, oh, this was different.
If this movie's trash, bro, I'm knocking at your door and I'm beating you up, bro.
I think it's the best Spider-Man movie.
Wow. Yeah. Somebody come sock you up, bro. I feel like you'll get hate for saying that.
I feel like this is the common opinion though.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a fucks with it. Well,
actually, you know what? Film people will tell you Spider-Man 2 was the best Spider-Man movie. but like
Spider-Man 2 is a classic.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I like Spider-Verse.
Word. I'm definitely gonna check that baby out.
It's just I can't just even like the character design and stuff like that. Like there's just stuff in there. I'm like, how the fuck did they get this made? Like how did some guy not like come down from his office and stop them?
Right.
This is Sony. Yeah.
And I honestly like that feeling though. Like I even on different levels when it comes to like listening to music, like how is this person not blown up yet or like something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I've always gotten very excited about stuff where I'm just like, I can't believe this exists.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean that's some of the best feelings, you know?
Yeah. I remember when my parents told me as a kid about how like when Jimi Hendrix played the national anthem and like people hated it and shit, and they played it for me, and I'm like, this is so sick. People hated this, but like
I hated it too.
Oh, you did too?
Fuck America.
Right.
No, what are you saying?
Well, just in terms of him like doing something just so like crazy fucking different, I'm like, oh, this is tight. And then like, you know, just having like all the pushback against it. Like,
but who really pushing back? Who pushing back on Jimi Hendrix?
I think people were pushing back on him.
My grandma fucked Jimi Hendrix. I just gotta say that.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. All right, no. But I feel like anything that Jimi Hendrix do is just amazing. So you can't even really say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He could be pissed drunk in the lobby of your hotel, and you just be like, "Oh my god, this is awesome."
Yeah. But yeah, no. Spider-Verse. Yeah, no. Just anytime there's like because. Going back to like Pixar and stuff, just anytime like I see something that was just made with like a lot of intention and clearly like there's like an artist behind it and like it feels like very handmade to a sense, you know, and it's personal. I'm just those are the things that like I get like really
personal guy.
Yeah, those are the things like they just usually hit better.
True.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Are you talking about in terms of like relativity, like how you able to relate to them?
Yeah, I guess so, and like just kind of like seek like personal meaning out of it and shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just love immersion. I love like things that are just way deeper than they should be, just so that you could really. So this is actual like a universe that like you could think about is like probably still going on right now, even though you're not paying attention to it.
The three directors that immerse me the most are right now at least are Denis Villeneuve, who did he did Arrival and Sicario and Blade Runner 2049, and like he's just fucking really good. And like those movies, I'm just kind of like this, like looking at the screen the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
And then Christopher Nolan, who did Interstellar, which is like tied for favorite movie with her, and he did Inception and Dark Knight trilogy. Like there's just something.
I know that guy. Yeah.
There's just something about like the way his scenes feel where I'm just like, oh fuck, like I'm very much so watching this right now. Yeah. And then David Fincher, and then like David Fincher, who did Social Network and Gone Girl and Seven. His movies are just so precise with everything. It's just like some people just have that.
I love that though. That precision. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
it's almost like animating, because like in animation, everything that is done is like done by a man, you know, or done by a person. You know what I'm saying? So there's intent behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, David Fincher is one of these guys who's embraced technology for creative control, like more than anyone I can think of in terms of at least like being ahead of the curve, because he'll do upwards of like 99 takes per shot, which is like not normal at all. Ridley Scott does 3 takes.
Jeez.
So Social Network, that opening scene where it's Jesse Eisenberg and his girlfriend or whatever, or Mark Zuckerberg, and they're like talking and arguing. Like if you go back and watch that scene, it's like basically like a fucking perfect scene. Like we like watched it in class a bunch. It's just 2 people talking at a table, which in theory should be the least cinematic thing you could do.
Right.
But the scene alone has like 9 or so different shots, and like all the angles and the cuts to them are extremely precise, and he runs all of them like 90 times each, and to get like the exact perfect thing. But what's nuts is like there'll be scenes where he's like on the left and then Andrew Garfield's on the right, and what he would literally do, he would have the editors cut out the dude on the right and then put in a different take, so then he could adjust the timing and have them like interrupt each other and use different takes simultaneously in one shot. So Social Network has more CGI in it than Godzilla did.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it noticeable? It
No,
can't
not at all. It's
Jesus
like the most
Christ.
flawless thing ever.
Jeez.
The opening shot is him like running like across campus, and he did that by having like 3 different Reds filming at once, and he stitched together this like massive shot that he could just have like Canon scan later. Yeah, so like he had like a camera invented for him too for something as well, because he created House of Cards and Mindhunter.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Kubrick, because I know Kubrick be like doing that, like making his actors like run through the dialogue or run through the scene like 80, 90 times.
See, Kubrick's one of those dudes where like he is really fucking good, but then you hear about like all the psychological trauma he
puts on people.
Oh my God. I remember hearing Seth Rogen talk about that once, and he was like, "Yeah, when you're young, it's like easy to romanticize like the way like the old people used to make art or whatever, and like these things, but then he's like, then you get older and you start making stuff yourself, and you realize he didn't have to do that at all."
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like I remember he was just taking the stance like, you shouldn't treat someone like that. And he probably could have directed the performance without like traumatizing someone.
But honestly, I feel like I don't know. I'm not really an actor, so I really don't know. But I feel like when Kubrick was explaining it, like wearing his actors down and really making them like almost like embody what's really happening, and just like the frustration and the anger.
Be a better way though.
I don't know. Like at one point, motherfuckers was really getting sacrificed, bro.
Well, like I think about like Leonardo doing The Revenant and shit, and how he like allegedly like actually slept inside of a horse carcass and like ate like that organ, and like it's not fake, and even though he's vegan and stuff like that, But that came from him deciding to like immerse himself and like working with fucking Inarritu to like do those things, versus just like shoving Leonardo DiCaprio inside of an animal and being like, get in there.
Wait, Leonardo DiCaprio is a vegan?
I think so, yeah. Because he did that climate change movie Before the Flood a few years ago, and then he was advocating at the White House for climate change back in like the 90s and 80s and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about how you feel about Tyler and his directing and his filmmaking? Yeah.
He's really good. Mm-hmm. I think Tyler the Creator could become the first person in history to be nominated for Best Director and Best Original Score for the same movie at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Because I think he fully has it within him to become like an Oscar-nominated filmmaker, honestly, just because I think that he's so true to himself with his creative eye, and the stuff he's doing now, like already just with like music videos and like fashion promo is so
for real
ahead of its time, that if he
promo,
if he can just figure out his like writing game, which maybe he already is really good at it, I don't know, he just doesn't do that stuff too much, If he can make a story that like connects the right way, and he makes like a legit ass movie that's like worthy of being at the Oscars, I know that he's gonna do the music himself.
Oh my gosh, yes! Imagine the Tyler Creator score and screenplay.
That's what the idea of like Tyler Okanama, or like however you say it, like being like nominated for Best Director and then Best Original Score, like that'd be insane.
That would be insane.
Because Ludwig Göransson, when he won Best Original Score last year for Black Panther, but then like a week before he won Record of the Year at the Grammys for This Is America, I was just like, yo, this guy just won the 2 highest honors in music in 2 different medias at 2 different award shows, like in like a month or so. Like Ludwig last year had a crazy year, but then like I think about somebody doing that, but then like for the same thing, like that'd be nuts.
Do you like Ludwig?
Yeah. Yeah, because I just really like Childish Gambino music.
Yeah,
and,
you said This Is America, so
yeah, and then he did the music for Community, and that's how like they met originally, and he had nice little just like atmosphere stuff for that.
What's
show.
Community?
Community is this NBC show that Donald Glover was one of the stars in, and Dan Harmon, who created Rick and Morty, he made it before this.
Oh wow.
It's kind of like a cult favorite show. Season 1 was like in 2009 when The Office and Parks were kind of on their like ending run. Okay. And it was starring Donald Glover, Joel McHale, and then just like Chevy Chase, and a bunch of like not super famous people, And it became like the #1 show on Hulu, and it would have a bunch of hashtags, and it was really beloved, and it has like a huge fan base.
Damn, I never heard of it. What the hell?
Well, fucking NBC like tried to tank it because nobody watched it live, so it generated like no ad revenue. So like they fired Dan Harmon, the creator, for a season, and then they rehired him back, and then they stopped the show, and then Yahoo purchased it, and Yahoo Video did a season.
I know. Say Yahoo Video.
Yeah, Yahoo Video got a hold of it, and
that can't be real, bro.
Yeah, so like around like season 4 or 5.
Do you have a subscription?
To Yahoo
Video?
No, fuck no. It was free. It was free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they because they wanted to do a clean 6 seasons or whatever, but yeah, that show's really fucking good.
Wow, you ever watch 30 Rock?
Yeah.
Do you like 30 Rock?
When it was on, because I watched it when it was like on.
Yeah, I watched it as a kid.
Yeah. I always liked it, but it was my least favorite of my favorite shows.
Word.
So like on Thursdays when it went like 30 Rock, The Office, Parks and Rec, Community, Scrubs, like.
Maybe I have seen Community then. I just don't remember it. That's a trippy thought. You ever fuck with Samurai Jack?
Bro.
This nigga's so.
So I never really watched Samurai Jack, Courage. Powerpuff Girls much.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck. I know. Yo.
I missed out on set. And then they just brought Samurai Jack back for that like R-rated season, huh?
Yeah.
Was it good?
I didn't watch that. I'm still catching up. I haven't finished Samurai Jack.
I
just know that was one of the most raw shows to ever exist. Like, bruh.
I've always heard like nothing but like amazing things.
Yeah, it's just one of them things. It's like, how the fuck was this shit made, bro? Like, whose crackhead ass made some shit like this? It's like what we was talking about, like a motherfucker making a microphone and making, playable music. Like, who the fuck makes some shit like this? Like, it's literally insane.
People have pointed out that he looks exactly like the professor from Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
And there are these shots in Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack where the identical billboard and skyline is seen. Mm-hmm. But in Samurai Jack, it's like ruins. And in Powerpuff Girls, it's like the modern day, Mm-hmm. It's like, odds are the two creators were just kind of like joking about something or maybe did a nod to each other, but some people are just like, a Samurai Jack fucking professor from Powerpuff Girls?
The thing about Samurai Jack, man, that nigga just be in different realms of reality though. He be in different realms, bro. He be
those link types.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, it could be a possibility on some Rick and Morty shit where he went to a portal, bro, got fucking turned into 2, and here he was. Yeah. He went from being Samurai Jack to a parent of test tube babies, just like that. Imagine
it's crazy
that
he just made some daughters.
That's some pretty creepy shit, bro. Somebody need to call the police on his ass.
Bro,
he treats them right, but
the whole community is like, yeah, there's the guy who made 3 kids.
There they go. Like, imagine that.
Nobody's seen his wife in a bit.
Yo, he don't got them kind of needs. He a good guy. He's a good Samaritan. He's Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack ain't never fall for no pussy. That's for real. He almost did, but he didn't. No. Samurai Jack is crazy, yo. There's an Irish dude with his leg cut off, and he got a machine gun on him, bro.
In Jack?
Yes.
I didn't know he had guns in the show.
It's futuristic, past tense, all over.
I didn't know that.
Well, okay, so what Samurai Jack is like, what happens? His dad dies or some shit, so he has to train with all these different peoples from like all over the world, so he can be like hella nice. And then like what happens? Like what happens? Like some kind of like time skip shit happens, or like some like what happens? Like it's like a different universe, bro. Like, oh my god, the Samurai Jack goon's gonna get me, bro. I never forgot.
I never watched. Just get this out of the way. I never watched Naruto or Dragon Ball either.
Okay. All right. I mean,
I just feel like those are other like really big. I feel like those 3 shows usually go together because they were all like Cartoon Network and.
Yeah, I mean, anime. Like, I don't know, man. Like, if you're gonna watch animated classics, you gotta watch Cowboy Bebop, bro. That's like literally the best, bro.
I get recommended like videos about that on YouTube all the fucking time.
Watch that. I would be slightly less disappointed in you. You don't really watch anime like that, but I'd be slightly less disappointed in you if you watch.
I watch.
You be watching cooking anime, son.
I watch My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. Yeah.
I went through Devilman Crybaby on Netflix when that came out.
Yeah, was that the one with them cats who rap?
No.
Which one is that?
I don't know what the fuck that
is.
Devilman
Crybaby is that weird shit, huh?
It's
crazy.
That
crazy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about like, it's like these like devils and demons or whatever, and they take people over and kill them and like make them sin to like insane. And they have
it's got mad biblical references.
Yeah, and it has like insane like visual sequences, and the music almost reminds me of like Run the Jewels beats, and it's like where it's like kind of like house and just like thumping and just like a lot of like brute force to it. Yeah, it has insane sex and violence scenes in that show. Like it's fucking nuts.
Word. I've only watched like the first episode of that, and I was like, yo, this is just too crazy for me, bro.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Like the intro was just crazy to that anime. Like I just slightly remember it. It was like talking about the villain and how crazy that nigga was. I was like, hell no.
Yeah. I really like My Hero Academia a lot though.
Yeah, I seen a couple episodes of it, and it's funny as fuck. Like my cousin showed me.
It I really like just like the themes of the show and shit because the whole thing like winds up being about like trying to be like the best you can be, and the show does like a lot of like character work with like showing like why they all want to be heroes and like kind of their backstories into like what makes them want to like, you know, for some people it's like I want to make society better, and the other person's like I want to be able to like help my parents because like they're low on funds and like things like that, you know. But ultimately it's like a bunch of people just like pushing themselves like really fucking hard just to like attain goals and things like that. It's like a really like positive like good show. Yeah, and like
you never watched a single episode of Naruto?
No.
Really? Not a single episode? You never got bored and was like, yeah, try this show out?
I honestly, like, looking back at the things I chose to watch and not watch as a kid, I don't really know why. Because, like, I never watched, like, Ben 10 either.
Yo, you're joking, right? Bro,
No.
Ben 10 is literally one of the craziest shows to me, bro. Just because the concept of it.
I don't think Brandon's seen any of these either because we like, watch the same stuff together.
Ben 10 was crazy, bro. Like, some of the characters on Ben 10 just had so much sauce.
It seems like something I would have liked too. I have no fucking clue why I didn't watch Ben 10. Like this kid
What
who can
did you
turn
watch?
into like, I mean, like Ed and Eddie and Foster's and SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Last Airbender.
Not a big Fairly Odd Parents fan.
Nah. Too annoying.
Fairly Odd Parents!
Yeah. The voices are like really like grating on yeah.
I don't know, man. It was like, it's not a horrible show or nothing like that. I just like, it just didn't really catch my interest. There wasn't really nothing I could really grab from it, or like the artistic style wasn't even really my style.
I think it's the same creator as Danny Phantom.
Yeah, and I didn't like that show
same
either.
art style, yeah. I think Last Airbender is still like one of the best things I've ever seen.
To ever exist. Don't even get me started, bro. Yeah.
It's so good.
I feel like it really changed so many people's lives. Like when I talk about like when I make music and I want to plant seeds into people's minds and stuff, like that's really like what Avatar did. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to do. Like the shit that they talk about, they even talk about the 7 chakras. You know what I'm saying? How to release, bro.
I meant to bring it up back then because like somebody uploaded this video on the 7 chakras on YouTube, but it's just like a compilation of all those scenes from that episode where he goes to the guru dude and he's showing him how
Guru
like
Patika.
Yeah, and he's showing him how like unblock all the flows and like how like this one is guilt or whatever the fuck. And, and then at the last one he's like, all right, to unlock the crown chakra or whatever, he's like, you need to let go of all of your attachments, including the love you have for Katara.
The nigga's like, no.
And he's like, you just told me like 3 chakras ago love was important. He's like, it is, but you gotta let go of it so you can give yourself to the universe's pure spirit and cosmic energy.
And that's what the crown chakra is, bro.
Yeah.
It's really that connection between. It's really that full connection, you know, between us and what is to be out there in terms of like energy and spirits and spirituality out there. You know what I'm saying? Like the third eye chakra will give you like a better understanding of it, but you really don't get to experience it until you get to that crown chakra moment. You know what I'm saying? And the throat chakra is step into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm writing a rap about the chakras right now, so I've been studying the chakras like hella hard.
Yeah, no, they're all that stuff is like super interesting.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't think that it's real, like it's really just a good. Like,
I kind of do, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do. I think I really do. I don't know exactly what proof I'd have on it, but like I feel like fundamentally, just because the people who like believed it and followed it, you know, the weight that it holds, that I hold it to a high level.
Is it Buddhism? What do chakras relate to?
Okay, so the chakras are from Hinduism, but see But Buddhism started in like India though, you know what I'm saying? But it started in like, I don't know, it's like the hills of India or some shit like that. No. Wait, yeah. Where did it start? It started.
The Saragupta became the first like Buddha, right?
I thought it was Siddhartha.
I thought it was. It's been a minute since I studied this.
Damn,
stuff.
yeah, it's been a minute since I studied it too.
I remember the story of the dude Saragupta. He was like a prince, and he had never seen homeless people or people in need, and then he exited the city, and then he went out and contemplated until
under the tree, under the fig tree.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah, but no, you're right. But yeah, that shit started in India. But the chakras are from Hinduism, but they also align with the Buddhist beliefs. You know what I'm saying? So I think that makes it hold weight even more. But just the principles of all the chakras, I mean, it's almost like except for the last two chakras, the crown and the third eye chakra, I feel like there's all kind of almost like just personality traits, you know what I'm saying? You have like your root chakra. That's like a person who's like hell bent on survival. You know, like make sure that they got all their basic needs. And then you have like a sacral chakra person, and like a sacral chakra person would be like someone who's like super sexual and creative, and you know what I'm saying, kind of lustful.
Well, the way the last Airbender like thing explained it was he showed all these pools of water and how they flow into each other, and how if any of them are blocked, it like stops them from flowing into each other. But like when they are, you have like all this chi or whatever, which gives you like free flowing energy. And when he was walking Aang through all of them, he was explaining like this one holds this, but it gets blocked by this. So if this one is love, it gets blocked by jealousy, and then if this one is like hope, it gets, I don't really remember what they all were or whatever. But then like I don't know, that sort of thing like really like makes sense to me, and that kind of even goes into like why I get so interested by like brains and neurology and things like that, because kind of like what we were talking about earlier with people like chasing money over health or this over happiness or whatever it is. I think like if you like really, I think if people like kind of are in the spot where they can like objectively kind of like look at themselves and like what they need and like how they like do best in certain situations, whether or not it comes to like sleep and diet and health and like exercise, but
just
then
the environment, what they're around.
So like that's all like the physical stuff, and then you have the mental stuff of like how much you're challenging yourself and like working on these new steps and trying to keep yourself from these, because everybody has like repetitive like thought loops that are negative that they have to like work on and remind themselves like don't think that way, or I gotta work on
that's what meditation is good for.
Exactly. So like when you talked about all these chakras and how like you hold all these different things in your life but they get blocked by these other things, that's where like the idea of like meditating on them and learning how to like unblock it by like having this like kind of deep way of like getting around that thing or looking at it differently, and then once you get that going, they like do like literally flow into each other because they assist each other at being better, because because like negative things beget each other just as much as like positive things do.
Literally
things that knock you down a hole make the other things even more difficult to overcome, but the inverse is true too. So like I really like the idea of like these like
I don't think it's necessarily like that though. I don't think that like you have just because you at the root chakra means that you don't have any of the other chakras.
No, not super literally, but just like the nature in which things like interact with each other in your life and in your mental.
Yeah, I mean, one definitely makes the next one move a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. Especially when it comes to like, let's say like the heart and the throat chakra, you know what I'm saying? The heart chakra is, your love and compassion, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a community feel, you know what I'm saying? Your throat chakra is more about communicating, but it's more of an independent feel, you know what I'm saying? So, if you, to have those two in balance is like mad important. I feel like it goes for the next one. Like if you have like your root chakra and your sacral chakra, remember your root chakra is your basic needs and your survival instincts, and your sacral chakra is about sexuality and creativity and things of that nature. Like you working too much of your root chakra, you know what I'm saying? You're only focusing on your survivals and not learning the pleasures of life, you know what I'm saying? Like things of that nature.
It's funny, David Letterman, who's like my favorite interviewer, he has his new Netflix show like Post.
I don't want to hear about him, bro. He's still owing me money.
Letterman?
Yeah, bro, he owed me $5.
He owed you $5?
Yeah.
What happened?
He cashed at me for a burrito. Or he's supposed to cash at me for a burrito.
Where were you guys?
Fucking El Pasos.
All right. David Letterman gets snot back.
Yeah, what's up with you, bro? Anyways, what you was talking about this bitch ass dude?
well, he had Kanye on his new Netflix show where they're kind of more like sit down, like serious conversations, and I don't remember the context, but Kanye was talking about like modern music, and he was talking about like the sex chakra or whatever, and he was explaining like that's what all the modern music is with the doo, doo, and he was talking about like common kind of beat register and like lyric subject matter, and he was like explaining how like music culture right now is stuck in that chakra, and I was just like, whoa, this guy's thinking about stuff different.
Yeah, I would say industry music for sure. I mean, even when you hear the thump, you know what I'm saying, hits you down here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, the thump hits you right down there, so that makes total sense.
Yeah, he was being like, you're in the club with the...
Hey, some motherfuckers probably think he's retarded, but I wouldn't say that it embodies the sacral chakra. I wouldn't say it embodies the sacral chakra, because the sacral chakra is about creativity, but it's funny because it's a creative outlet, you know what I'm saying, used to, over-identify with sexuality, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's mad funny he said that. I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
That's enlightening.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. You want to wrap this up?
Yeah, so fucking David Letterman, bro. I'm still waiting for the 5. You know what I'm saying? You can hit the guy up any day.
My boy.
It's Snottyman. You know what I'm saying? The Jet Dragon. Fucking Snotty Shogun. Snotty Chan. We got my boy Zane right here, looking mad magnificent. You know what I'm saying?
So nice. If you want 20% off of Squarespace, go heckle them into letting me get sponsored by them.
Talk to me.
I cannot offer you a promo code at this time.
We need that.
But if you help convince them to give me money,
you need that.
We'll save you money.
We got you.
Get me some sponsors.
Sponsor it up.
All right.
Squarespace. Where you at?
Thanks, everybody.
Peace.
All right.
Word.
We did it. Yes. Cool.
Late too, bro. I think you overthought it, bro.
A little bit. I overthink all of this.
I'm not gonna touch it.
Record any of it.
Yo, that'd be fun.
Oh yeah, you talking about how you talk.